Hello everybody. I am streaming more game reviews for the GMTK Game Jam 2023. So, before we start that, I want to plug our own game that my team made. This is Scarecrow and Sparrow. It's a short, cozy game about a sparrow and a scarecrow who are normally enemies, but in this case, you're going to help them become better friends. So, I'm going to see if we've got any games in the queue. It's kind of late, so we might not have any at the moment. You know, last time it filled up so quickly, but the time I think is just a little bit off. So I might just play some games from the queue from last time because I know that the people that signed up last time are down to have their games reviewed. But if anyone hops in here, hopefully they say something and I can know to look. Let's see. Alright, I found one from last time. I need to move that over. And it's Jigsaw Move Crafter, oops, by Shenpeng1 and Viet LQ. Let me try to get everything set up just right for the stream. Oh, I see somebody has actually joined, so I might actually do that because I know this person is here right now since they just submitted. Even though I did want to play this one because I've seen a few people play this one and it looks interesting, so I'll leave it there in case this queue doesn't fill up just because we're pretty late at night. Most of North America and South America are sleeping or getting ready to sleep, and then I think Europe right now is not really fully awake yet. Hopefully they wake up soon. Okay. Let's see, make sure if there were any notes. I don't see any notes. Alright, so this is Dungeon Idiot Shooter Where You Are the Bullet by Zootilt10. This is already some really interesting art. The role in a typical top-down shooter has been reversed. Instead of controlling the gun and the main character, you only control the bullet that they fire from the gun. Okay. Oh, this is a download. I was only gonna play browser games, which is something I indicated in my submission form. I don't know if there's... Yeah, I don't see a web version. I'm sorry, I'm only playing web games. Okay, so we'll go back to this other one. This is Jigsaw Move Crafter. Trying to make sure everything is set up just right. And it is tricky. Alright, that seems okay. Gonna make a little note. Not web. Okay. Alright, Jigsaw Move Crafter by Shenpeng and 1 and Viet LQ. The player crafts the moveset, not us. I think I've seen someone else streaming this, but I wasn't fully paying attention because I didn't want to get spoiled. And I know there's some kind of puzzle thing you put together. Welcome to Jigsaw Move Crafter. Use your own word and combine them to a moveset set as a true jigsaw crafter. Use your mouse to drag the Jigsaw onto the crafting area. This is referencing a bunch of stuff. I don't know what it is, so I'm just going to start it and hope that it is fine. You know, it's really funny. A lot of the people who use the itch.io full screen with Unity, it doesn't actually work. I'm surprised that this does. If this is the itch.io, it kind of looks like it. Jigsaw Move Crafter. I'm gonna just try playing and see if it's something I can pick up. Oh no, I'm already lost. Maybe I should go to that guide after all. That's definitely not just clear instantly. Is this supposed to do something? I'm gonna refresh just in case, but maybe y'all didn't get to make the guide? I don't see anything open. So it's not a case of it opening in another window or anything. Yeah, nothing on that monitor either. So I'll just read the thing down here because I assume this is the same thing that would be in this magical button. We'll hit play. I don't think there's a timer or anything, right? I don't see anything. Use your mouse to drag the Jigsaw onto the crafting area. Is Jigsaw the word for jigsaw in some places? Is that? I assume this means puzzle. To make a meaningful statement. Oh, maybe this is just their words for it. The Jigsaw edge is suggesting the piece is compatible. I don't know if like this is meant to be a joke, because it makes me wonder like, is a Jigsaw and a Jigsaw something different in your game? Like, is that specifically like the blue ones or the red ones or something? Press the craft button to confirm. Click on the right side of the craft button. Okay, up there. Oh, this is that game that reminded me of Scratch programming, I think. You can only use attack to an ally or an enemy. So like, if they're on this side, they're my guy maybe? I'm not really sure. Like, it's kind of the same color as up here. I don't know if that's relevant for the hair. And it's usually, at least in English, you start left to right. So I kind of assume the left is my side, if there is my side up there. Only number you can only use attack to a ally or enemy. Is there something besides an ally or enemy? Only number can change the stats. Allies plus health is increased. Enemy plus health is assigned to. Okay. Okay, I think I get it. The description is a little shaky. It feels like the English is slightly off with this, and then I'm not really sure about this instruction in general. If there's even something besides an ally and an enemy, I guess we'll find out. So I'm gonna full screen it for now so I can see. Maybe ally, can this go here? Is this supposed to go to this edge? Like, it looks like it would fit here. Is it supposed to go on this edge? Is this supposed to be blank like this? It feels like something's supposed to go there, but I don't see any additional pieces. Oh, maybe when you craft it, it smushes it. Ally, attack, enemy. Can I attack? No. Ally, attack, enemy. Okay. Just trying to see if I could do double damage. So this is me over here. I would have liked to see a little more clarity that this is my character on the left-hand side. The only indication I really have is that, like, often in a lot of video games I'm on the left, but even that wasn't really clear enough to me, and that the hair is similar, but they're not even the exact same color, so that didn't really tell me for sure. Like, even something on here, on maybe one of these little things to signify, would have been a really easy programming thing. You know, just add some text in that makes it clear in some way. Okay, so this guy's dead. -10. Okay, ally, attack, enemy. I mean, I don't think you can do anything else because I tried to chain the things and it didn't go through. But I like the idea so far. Allies. Health. Is it? Okay, so I'm assuming this is attack. Ally attack is increased by. Oh, you can't. Oh, because they have to fit together. I see, I see. Ally health is increased by. I could do enemy attack, but I don't know that this works with the crafting. Yeah, you can't do it there. I wonder what this does. No, I don't know if it like increased it by their health. It was worth trying. Enemy. Oh, attack ally. When the enemies attack my character, I would like it to maybe be a little slower, or for there to be like an okay dialogue or something. It actually flashes by so fast. I can't read it, and I read pretty fast. But it's a little quick. Allies, strength. I don't know if I can use this yet. Enemy's strength. I don't think that's quite enough information. Oh, what if I do enemy attack enemy? Can I do like this? Does this do anything? No, okay. Can I just make them fight each other? I like that. Oh wait, no, did I get it wrong? No, that was their attack. No, see, I didn't really even realize it was going to them. Okay, maybe that's just me goofing. I don't know why. I thought I had maybe done it wrong. I'm not sure on that one. Okay. Allies' strength is increased by enemy's health. So I should get 10. Yeah, 15. Okay. When it's short, it's not too bad to read, but sometimes it feels a little fast. I feel like an OK button or something would be bad, but maybe that would slow the pace of the battle down, so maybe that is something you want, but no, I kind of feel like an OK button is the way to go here, because some people read a lot slower, unless you just don't really care about what they're doing, and you don't really want to give the player ideas. Maybe it takes away from the player's gameplay too much, because you're just like sitting there waiting for them or something. But as long as it automatically like populates really quickly, and then you have an OK button to push, I don't feel like that would really matter. Okay, allies, strength. No, these are all attack for the red, so really that doesn't help. ally, attack, enemies, strength. Can I hit them here? No, okay. I wonder if there's more. Like there's all these attacks and stuff. Can I make it 5? Like 5 times. 5's strength. No, that doesn't make any sense. Attack. Okay. I don't know if it, wow, this isn't working. Okay. I was like, hello? I don't know if it's because it's so long. This didn't do anything for a second. Allies' strength is increased by enemy attack. So that should give me 5 instead of 2, which should make this 10. No? Allies' strength is increased by enemy attack. Oh, because here. I don't think I can do that. Is increased by 2. I guess that's the only thing you can do. I mean, I can try to see if enemy like tries to take either of these values, but I don't think it does. Yeah. Because I think I had tried that earlier. I get that there's like a solution and I'm early on in the levels, but I would like to see even early on more than one way to solve the problems here. That would have been really nice. Enemy's health. I guess you can't really do anything when it's attack. Enemy attack yourself. Yeah, he just hurt himself. Enemy strength is increased by 2. Whew. Speed read. Okay. Yeah, when it's attack, you just don't really have an option. So like, this feels a little silly, as far as I can tell. Ally, whoop, attack, enemies, health. No. I mean, does that work? This isn't doing anything. I clicked it a few times. I don't know if it's just lagging. But it seems kind of odd that when I do some of the stuff it doesn't expect, it's lagging. I don't know if there's something wrong with the way this is being checked that's causing a bit of a delay, but it might be worth looking into optimizing if that's something that you're seeing from more than just me. I feel like this should work. Ally attack enemy's health. I mean, it's like extra, you know, but like it does fit. So it seems odd that it does not. An enemy's strength is increased by 2. Ally health is increased by allies' health. So it should go up to 40, right? There we go. This one had more than one answer. I'm pretty sure. I kind of glanced at it quickly, but yeah, that was much better. Okay. Ally. I'm just gonna check real quick how we're doing. Oh, there's another one. Okay. There's no name or anything. I'll look at that in a second after this one. Okay. Ally So there's only increase by, so that makes me know like I need to do this to the ally. I want to increase the strength. Strength is increased by the highest number on the board is ally, but there's no ally. So enemy is 10, enemy health, so it's gonna be 10. Unless it's 3, negative 3. Okay, so I went up by 10, I think. I'm a little distracted. I only see attack this time. So I really only see this again. Enemy attack. Enemy. With all these pieces, I feel like it should be longer. I don't know if the point is to have it be shorter. But I can kind of just look at the red pieces, it seems like, and determine that I'm pretty limited. Strength. Attack. Enemy. I mean, I wonder if I can do this. Can I use that to hit it? No. Okay. I guess that's fine. He's gonna die anyways. I'm making this more complicated than it needs to be. Is reduced by. Yeah, okay. Enemy health is reduced by. Ally. Oh, no, I guess I can't. Well, I should probably just go ahead. I can reduce their health by 4, or I can increase my health by 4. I feel like just getting rid of them is faster because they're already like lower. Whoop. I like that this is really smooth with the puzzle pieces swapping. That works really well. Does this work? I mean, it kind of makes sense. Yeah, but it doesn't. I guess it's not what they're going for. Ally strength is increased by 5. Enemy attack ally. This is really fun. I'm really enjoying this one. I'm not usually a big puzzly person, but this one's not overly complicated. I've seen some games in jams where they make a rule set that's really long in such a short amount of time. Increased and reduced. Okay, but I can only alter 1. Let's go ahead and just attack them. No, actually, I need health. Ally health is increased by -3. The best I can do. Yeah, I think that's the best I can do in this case. If I attack one right now, then enemy. Oh, okay. I can alter their strength, but I feel like I should just attack and kill one of them so they don't attack me. I'm not super sure if they're both attacking in one turn. Ally attack enemy. think that's the best way to go about it, because like she has enough strength to knock them out as far as I understand. Yeah. Ally. She's got 10. So just knock them out real quick. It's really impressive that you got so many of these levels done in such a short amount of time. I will say. Allies' health is increased by 4. Yeah, just go for it. Make me strong. By 3. I can't do very much damage now. Nice. Nope. Attack enemy. Yeah, I mean when it's all just attack, you can't really do anything. Craft. I'm clicking craft. It was a bit of delay on the craft button again, even for a simpler thing, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. Even though I clicked it multiple times, if you could probably hear on stream. Okay, so I've clicked the craft button just one time, and I'm letting go of the mouse in case this is an issue of it taking some time. But now it's been a few seconds, so I'm going to click it again. And I'm going to click it again. I'm going to click on the pink part instead of the text. So that did go through. I don't know if it was a time thing or a where I was clicking thing. So if I... Oh! Okay, if I hit craft and there's nothing in there, this puzzle piece and this puzzle piece don't match, and it shouldn't have taken any action at all, because I think it just skipped my turn. And I was just trying to see if the button would work, and I assumed that because these don't match, that it would have been okay. Attack them and I can knock them out. So if I double click this, I was trying to see if I could like double click or something down here to just have it go up there. That would have been nice if this game ever got bigger, to have something that makes it save a little time, but I mean it works, you know, it's a game jam, there's only so much time. I totally get that. Enemy attack. Let's say ally attack enemy. So I can knock one of them out. And then I can just kill him really quickly. Even more levels. Okay. Ally attack. Expected by this point in the game that complexity would be rising a bit. I don't really feel like it is. Like I don't want, like you have the puzzle pieces. I don't even think it's about the puzzle pieces, like you need more necessarily. I would just like to see more of like the yellow and more of the different types of reds as time goes on with more different solutions. But like I'm starting this far in the game with like ally attack enemy, like, again and again. Enemies' health is reduced by allies' strength, which is 5, which is bigger than any of these. It's not responding again. I really wonder if it's something to do with the text in front. I'm gonna try clicking directly on the text and see. Okay. Allies' health is increased by the most I can do is 5. I like the music. It's really chill. I will say, although I like it, I don't know if it fits the game. Like, it's a fighting game, and I feel kind of like I'm in a jazz. Okay, I don't know if this counts as jazz. I feel like I'm in like a lounge, like about to go to a fancy hotel or something. Kind of elevator music-esque and not very battle-y. Even if you're going for like a really video gamey sounding battle, I don't think this fits. This sounds like elevator music. Like it's nice. It's a nice song, but it seems a little odd for the game. Enemy strength. No, ally strength is increased. Ally strength is increased by, I guess the biggest number I've got is 4. Okay, so I'm clicking on the letter and nothing. Click on the pink. Oh, actually, clicking on the pink didn't automatically make it go, but I'm having to click that button multiple times for some reason. Got 9. It's got 10. Okay. Allies strength. Oh. So I want to change it to enemy strength is reduced by it's just 3. Trying to click it down here, expecting it to go up. Ally attack enemy. I've got 9. He's got 10. There's nothing else because there's no other reds. Alright, so click, 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 click. Come on, craft button. Do crafting things. Yeah, I don't know why that's not taking it. I can't even hazard a guess at this point. Ally, attack, enemy. That should take care of it. Oh. Ally, attack. All enemy health. I like this. Okay, it's not working. This is fit here, here, and here. Ally attack all enemies health. Okay, I'm gonna guess this isn't supposed to be here. Okay. not sure I get what happened there. Does this restart? Okay, so they've got 10 health. I've got 5 attack. Ally, attack, all, enemy. Shouldn't this just lower them both to 5? Did I put something in different last time? Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Allies. Let's see. Enemies. Health is reduced by 5. I mean, that doesn't make any difference from me attacking them. So. Oh, I can increase it by their health. So allies' strength is increased by enemies' health. Even. Yeah, that'll make it so I can kill them both. Okay, again. I can click on the right hand side. I wonder if the box over this is drawn in correctly. Enemies' health is reduced by... They attack themselves? Is that what happened the previous time? All. Ally attack all, so she'll hit both of them for 12. They should both go. Oh, all enemy. Nice. Okay, so I am starting to see some complexity with the all puzzle piece especially, but I do feel kind of like it took a little longer to get there than I would have liked. But maybe that's just like a preference thing for me to want something more difficult. And like, I'm a programmer, so like, obviously I'm used to thinking in like Scratch terms, so maybe I'm really biased. I don't know. Okay, somebody's health is gonna be assigned to somebody. Ooh, a new puzzle piece. Enemy's health is assigned to ally. Oh. All allies' health is assigned to ally. Let's try this. Craft. No. I tried. Give me your health. So double clicking up here doesn't clear this either. Aw. I'm not sure you're meant to use the assigned at all in that case. Kind of sucks to like get a new puzzle piece introduced and not get to use it. I didn't see a way to, but maybe I was missing it. So is assigned to, is increased by, is assigned to. We can do health and strength. There's an enemy and ally. Those are 5 and 5. got all 5 down here. So I don't think assigned is going to help me because I'm the only one with the high value for is assigned. I attack. Okay. I'm realizing now too, like this is a bit of the same. So like attack and strength, and I know because it's red, like it's clear. But maybe like picking something different than this for verbiage would have been nice. I know it kind of means, I know this is strength, but this looks like an attack icon to me too. I feel like strength should be like a weightlifting icon or something. Ally strength is increased by enemies' health is probably. Let's swap this. Ally's health is increased by their strength. So we can up it by 5. Yeah, I had to click the button twice that time, so I'm not really sure what's up with that. Reduced by is assigned to. I feel like if you're using is assigned to, you need 2 yellow puzzle pieces. So I feel like that automatically means I still can't use those pieces. Oh no! I back-clicked. Gamer mouse, too many buttons. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can look at the video real quick. Maybe not murder your ears. Oh, this is just a preview. I think it's really great that you have a preview like this though, so you can see what the gameplay is, and you have really nice screenshots. I don't know that I would have included the game over screen in the screenshots. I know it's probably like a screen that you spent some time on, like making sure it looks good and works well. But to a player, I don't feel like it really tells me anything about the gameplay. Like, you're dead. That's the opposite of gameplay. I mean, I suppose in a game jam, a lot of the people playing your game are designers, so they see your UI, but maybe that's the audience choice. That feels a little strange to me. Alright, let's go to rating. Enjoyment. I definitely like that one. That was really fun. I'm trying to think. I feel like the only real problem I had with your game was that the craft button sometimes didn't work, and that if you just craft when it's empty, despite the fact that the puzzle pieces don't fit, it went through. And I wonder if that's the case every time. I'm gonna check real quick actually. Thankfully this is muted. So if I just hit craft, yeah. So that's just behavior that wasn't accounted for, I think. I think that's gonna come out of presentation. Just because I know there's a few games where they don't have a bug like that, and I feel like that's kind of critical, like that I'm having to sit there. Like I can take it out of enjoyment or presentation, but I feel like that's more of like a UI thing, which is like how it's presented. Even though I feel like your page itself, if I look at the game page, like I like the fact that you have screenshots. Like it's a little plain with a purple background, but in some ways that's nice because your game isn't like a high definition, crazy, like Unreal Engine game. You know, it's a browser game too. Like I feel like it kind of matches the aesthetic of the in-game simpler flat colors. So I don't feel like that's too bad, even though a lot of the times I like to see a little bit more here. So I think the itch page being a little simpler combined with that issue with the UI, that's the only place I'm going to take out. Creativity. It's definitely a cool mechanic, and I haven't seen it, and I think it's really different gameplay than I've seen, even though I feel like a lot of this is just coming from scratch. I do feel like I did want to see a little more variety. And then I think I got that is assigned to piece multiple times and I never got to use it. Like, I don't think I was given the yellow pieces that I need to even begin to use it, because you need something to assign that value to, and you'd only get like one yellow piece or something in that round. I don't know if they're like randomly generated or if you're like customly making the levels. I feel a bit bad too. I didn't finish because I accidentally hit the back key. I'm not gonna play it all again. But thinking here. I'm leaning on a 4 right now. I do like the scratch. So the player crafts the moveset, not us, for role reversal. I guess maybe. I'm not sure I'm like wrapping my head around your approach to the theme necessarily. Like, I kind of see it, but I don't know if I'm seeing it. I do like the art. I think it works well. I would have liked to see the different music, like I said. I feel like that could have been improved upon a bit. The art's very simple. Like, it works for what it is, though. So I don't feel like all art needs to be crazy, you know, works of art on the ceiling of crazy buildings, you know? Like, I feel like simple is fine. But I did have really a lot of fun. I played until my mouse messed up. Yeah, I think that's good. Can you change ratings after you make them? Yeah, looks like you can. But I think that's where I'm gonna leave that. Definitely had fun. So thank you for the game, and congrats on finishing the jam at all. It is a lot of work to do in 48 hours. I'm gonna put you all on elevator music while I write my review. Alright, I'm gonna take a really quick break, and then when we get back, I'm gonna give a shot to the Dungeon Guardian. hydrated. Let's look at this. So Dungeon Guardian by G Rada, Excel Pepple, and Sind 1. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, when I look at my game, I'm not sure it shows it that way. Maybe I need to take some constructive criticism of myself. How do you do it here? And see how I add my teammates to here. There must be a way to do that. I'll find that later. So, how does it fit the theme? We role reverse the player and the boss. Prepare to step into the shoes of a mighty and formidable villain. You know, depending on how that's done, I feel like that's... yeah, it's just like in the eye of the beholder who's the bad guy. And you created most of the art and music. Oh, that's cool. Alright, let's check it out. Kind of a blank brown. Sometimes that's good, sometimes it's not. I like that you have screenshots and kind of see that this is a 3D game of some kind. This looks like it might be Cinti assets. I've got those too. Okay, immerse yourself in an epic adventure crafted specifically for the prestigious GMTK Game Jam. In this great game, we saw the theme of role reversal. Okay, that's kind of what I read on the other page. WSD, left click to melee, right click to cast fireball. I mean, why punch when I can set them on fire? You know, this is the second person I've seen who had a really weirdly large padding. See this, all this brown right here? And I don't know what's causing that. I don't know if that's like a Unity setting for all this padding that's adding on. And I have a pretty big monitor. Like, this is a 4K 32-inch monitor. And so on my screen, it's not a lot of real estate. On a lot of people's screen, it would be probably looking at a really big chunk of like just brown wall. It'd probably just be like this, right? On a lot of people's screens. So just maybe look into what's causing that, because I saw somebody else with the same problem. Theirs was actually worse. They had padding on the sides too. Was this to get the Unity button in here? Maybe that's what it's for, because I know you have to add a little padding, but I think it's like 44 pixels or something like that. Why is this all the way over here? Like, the fact that it's like right against the bevel of my monitor is kind of strange. Like, I get we're all in a hurry during the jam, but that just seems like a little bit of a weird place to put that. Why does this backpack have a face? It has a little like face. I'm a human. I see faces in everything. Okay, music has to have background. You know what? A lot of people don't have a settings menu in the game jam, so go you, because I should have done that. My game is very loud by default, is what I've been learning. Whoa! I saw an empty Unity scene for a second. And then it flashed. Now, I know that's not really the biggest deal, and like also like Game Jam. Oh, okay. Also Game Jam, you know, you're in a bit of a hurry. But for someone like me who's kind of photosensitive, any kind of like just like really unexpected flash like that, it's kind of unpleasant. Like, now don't get me wrong, like if I'm going into like a firefight, like I play like at Overwatch, for example, I kind of expect explosions, and so I feel like expectation sets how my eyes are about to perceive stuff a little bit, and it's not so bad. But it's just flashing really bright and then going into this brown, it's just kind of uncomfortable. There's also something really strange about the camera movement. So if I'm going straight, it goes straight. If I'm going right, it doesn't just go right, it also tilts. And I think your rotation's not just flat, but it's also like tilting to the side like that. I don't know how else to say that. If you're making this, yeah, you're making this in Unity, you're not just rotating on one axis, like up and down or something, or like left and right, which shouldn't be rotation anymore necessarily, probably more of just a moving left and right thing. This is actually, again, I'm someone who's more sensitive to this. This is kind of nauseating to have a rotation spin left and right. But even though I am someone that's more sensitive to that, I've worked with quite a few people on issues similar to this. This kind of rotate and go to the side movement will make quite a lot of people feel kind of bad. So, like the way you're going forward, right? That looks like your camera's just going back and forth along the axis. It doesn't look like a rotation's involved. I would have probably done the same thing for going left and right. Now that might come into gameplay later, and maybe that matters for later, but even if it does, I would be inclined to change the gameplay rather than to have this awkward rotate sideways thing. It makes me want to not go sideways. Wow, that is a big explosion. You know what? I like the cartoon trail though. That looks really good. Do I have mana bar or something? Is that what the purple is? Yeah, I think that's what the purple is. I have to get up close to hit him. Oh. I don't know if what I did anything. Okay, wave 6. Oh, is this like a horde? Were we on wave 6 from the beginning? What's this stuff down here? It's not clickable as far as I can tell. Is it like a buff? Like a sword, a fireball, so like melee and my fire attack. What does the armor mean? Like, I know you're probably trying to go for simple with this, but honestly, I would have preferred if you wrote like HP, stamina, mana, if that's what these are. There's not really an indication for me of what these bars stand for other than I cast fireball and that seems to go down, so probably like mana. Melee doesn't seem to do anything. The green's not moving, red's not moving. I would be inclined to think one of those is health, but I'm not sure what. I'm not sure what this 4 is. On my screen, this 4 you see over here is also like really far against that side of the screen. It's sort of isolated too. I don't know. Right, I'm on level 1, but wave 6, and I don't know what that means. The Dungeon Guardian. Let's see. I feel like this is a very large level to have nothing in it. Oh, and I'm also clipping through this table. I clip through this. Whoop. No, but the camera kind of stops in an awkward way. The camera movement's based off of my player's collision? I feel like there's usually like a bit of a smoothing effect. This is very sudden. It's got like that rotation, like and pullback or something. Yeah. I'm not sure. I would just play with the camera settings. Like there needs to be some kind of smoothing, or like I feel like the camera's usually like behind the character and from like where I'm viewing, so I'm kind of like, what is my camera hitting? Okay. I'm guessing this white thing is to help me see what I'm hitting. But when it's like right here, it almost looks like a shield. There was a moment of me being like, does this stand for me blocking against something? Because I kind of did this. Now, that might just be me like doing something weird, but it doesn't feel like a reticle. It doesn't feel like a cursor. Like I can see you probably put like a plane in there or something to calculate how to hit stuff, but I would have maybe just hidden that and made my mouse, because it's just attached to the mouse, right? Like, but it's also changing. So this is something in 3D space. This is a plane or something, right? I would have just maybe changed the mouse cursor itself to like a different icon, and you can get this for free off of the Unity Asset Store. So it'd be clear that I'm just controlling my mouse, because you don't need a random 3D object in there. But hey, polish game jam, limited time, totally get it. Boop, boop, boop. How does one get out of here? Am I supposed to get out of here? Oh. Oh, that's totally okay. Don't worry, like, with my first game that I made for Unity, there were so many bugs. I'm only explaining some of the stuff I would change because, like, for me, when people did that for me on my first game jam, it really helped me learn what to improve and what to fix and what topics to look up. Is there some significance to lava? I guess that's all the gameplay there is for now. That's still really awesome, though. Like, there's a lot of stuff to have completed. Like, I can see there's a bunch of different systems that you would have had to work on to make sure that they worked for a game jam, and that's already, like, really impressive, especially if you're newer to it. The spawner is broke. Oh, okay. So there would have been more. So that's why this level is really big, because there would have been, like, waves coming in from somewhere. That makes sense. I was kind of like, why is it just a big level? Well, since there's nothing else to do, I think I've caught pretty much everything I could potentially even comment on. But, let me look at the gameplay at the beginning again. Just one quick time again. Do I have this muted? I don't. Is there supposed to be sound? Is that just me? Let me check my game. Because I know my game has sound. Oh, yeah, something's wrong with my end. Oh, what have I done? Oh, no, this is... Okay. It's just my website being muted, though. Your website's not muted. You guys just not have sound? A lot of time was spent making the art from scratch, not Unity assets. Like the 3D models? Did you guys make the 3D models? Are you talking about like stuff like the icons in the bottom right? Okay, so I wanted to like test if I can move my camera in and out, and scrolling doesn't work, but I guess this is top down. I'm used to like third person RPGs more than top down. I can't tell what it is above their head. I don't know if it's just backwards on accident because of how they're rotated. Maybe if I come around the corner that I can see their names. Oh, the green bar is going up or something, right? No, maybe it's not. Yeah. I think their name tags are backwards and they're also overlapping. And I think it's because I can get their positions to, yeah, right there. Their positions to automatically overlap. So usually when you have a lot of enemies that can kind of group up, you want to have some way that they're not just all stacked on top of each other, because you're going to run into issues of, I'm the player, I can't tell how many enemies are here except for the fact that I can see that there's a whole bunch of like jumbled text here, like right here. I can see there's a bunch of jumbled text, and I can guess that there's probably a lot of guys there. There's a bunch of different ways you can handle that, depending on how you approach it. And like what your approach is for the AI of them walking around. I'm also a little curious as to like why this guy has black text, but the other guys have white. Maybe it was something you were planning on working in later, though, or something like that. You can do stuff with like collision boxes, although those can get kind of finicky from what I've seen. And then in the terrain settings, there's sometimes stuff for that if this is off of terrain or like nav mesh, I think it's called. I think there's some settings in that to like keep them. So like it's just like a thing you tweak, but you can play with it. I don't know if you saw, but there's like a post-jam productions thing or something. So you can even like fix some of your stuff, like upload it and like get feedback on how to fix stuff after the jam, if that's something you want to do to learn that way. Because for me, it's helpful to have feedback from other people, not just YouTube tutorials forever. Green is, oh, XP. Oh, okay. My initial guess when I see 3 bars is health, stamina, and mana, and that's it. And so it's kind of like maybe the top. I thought the top bar, if anything, was the level progress. But for me, like, stick to the standard colors, like blue, yellow for stamina. I'm sorry, red for health, yellow for stamina, blue for mana is helpful. But even that, I still want like a little text label or something. Oh, that's awesome. I hope that's a good experience for you. Yeah, check it out on itch. I saw there's post-jam productions, because my team's probably going to do the same thing and like fix a few things and then see if that like is what people want, because no matter how much you learn from tutorials, there's nothing that's going to be the same as playtesting to see what actually works in the real world. Everything's just too like case by case basis to really know otherwise, in my opinion. But yeah, cool game, especially if you guys are new. It is amazing that you made all these assets. I can kind of see them better in the screenshots, but even when I'm just like walking around the level, the stones and everything look great. I thought this was from Cinti. Like they're like one of the really big popular low poly asset people. Like it really looks like their art style, but they're like pros. You know, they've been doing it for a while. Oh, awesome. Yeah, if you end up updating at some point, I'd love to see. I'm in that post-jam productions thing that I'm thinking I'll probably join. So if you guys are doing that too, then probably hop in. I really like the effects. I like the cartoon effects against the low poly. That was a good decision. I think that looked good. It looked dramatic because it actually popped more against the low poly. I'm not sure if you made this particle system. I'm guessing that's a particle system. But that looks really beautiful. The cages and stuff. Yeah, I mean, like, just really the low poly models in general are all like so seamlessly together that I thought it was part of an existing asset pack that I'm actually already familiar with. Which, I mean that as a compliment. Like, it looks really unified as a style. I don't know if these small details would have been lost on a top-down, but I'm not the biggest top-down person. Like, but it feels like the camera is so far away. A lot of these tiny details, they might have been lost. Like, I don't know if I would have seen a tiny little potion thing, especially in a game where you're like clicking and running around, because the background becomes kind of blurred as you're focusing on your character the whole time. At least that's how I feel sometimes when I'm playing games like Vampire Survivor, which is the closest game I probably played to like this kind of thing. But yeah, awesome. Super cool. Alright, I'm gonna check out the next game. Oh, I need to rate it. I'm goofing. Okay, enjoyment. I mean, I'm really like proud of y'all for getting in there and trying this. But yeah, it did sound like a few things were broken. So I can't really put it at high because there's not really a lot of gameplay. Even though I think it's awesome to like have made this much stuff. I like the creativity, and especially knowing like you made a lot of this stuff. But if you had music or sound, I'm not seeing any, and it's working on my other tabs. So I think that may be a thing with the way the game is uploaded. You can check in like incognito mode or something if you have Chrome to see what it looks like outside of your own regular settings, I guess, to make sure it's not being influenced by the way you have your Chrome set up. But it kind of sucks because I saw that you had all those sound settings that you had put in and spent the time to like make sure that menu was there. But the art's really good. So like, I'm going to give you 3 stars because I can see how much effort you must have put in if you did all that art. But you have to understand there's people who had completely finished gameplay. They came up with creative gameplay, creative spins on the theme. I understand that you're trying to reverse the player in a boss, but like it just felt like a regular top-down fighter game, if that makes sense. Presentation. I would have liked to see something on the main menu, and the itch page is a little plain. And again, I'm just nitpicking so we can all learn here. Like, obviously, to do anything in 48 hours is already awesome. But the itch page could have been a little bit cooler, had a little more stuff on it. The loading screen was like just a black screen. Once you get in game, what is available is nice, but yeah, there's just so much broken. Like, in all fairness to everyone else, I can't really give you more than that. Like, I feel like most of what you have right now is just art assets, and that's a great place to start, and maybe you can even reuse them in future jams. But what I've learned from doing a bunch of game jams is mostly just get a working game and let that be the main focus before you do other stuff. Like, you can even just put a cube in there and make sure that the gameplay works first. We hate programmer gang. Oh no! I'm in the art gang and the programmer gang. Am I just gonna be at the the sad kid table? Okay, I'm gonna mute for a minute so you don't have to hear all my typing. Okay, the programmers and the artists are fighting in chat. I'm concerned. I too like to blame my teammates. Every bug is that non-existent fourth person's fault. I think you need some team counseling before the next game jam. Okay, let's see if I can get this one open. The next game is going to be Garbage Collector by Pospec and Jonals is how I'm going to guess at saying those. This game is allocating so much new stuff. Save it by removing used assets that are out of camera's view. What? Also, it's really fine if you don't get to it right away. Mostly we just want feedback for y'all playing our game. Although at this point we have a pretty good idea of some of the stuff that we need to fix. We actually coded most of the fixes that people gave us feedback on already. We just can't push them yet. Okay, just make sure there's no notes on this one. And nothing else. Ooh, I saw another one come through. Although the form's not filled out. It's literally only... Is this on purpose? Did my form break? Okay. Instead of playing the game itself, the player is an internal function of the game, seeing someone else play from the outside. This is some interesting art from what I can see. Whoa. Why is this opening this way? Does it normally do that? Like, that's clearly an itch thing if it does, right? What is this? What is this? I'm a little bit afraid. Okay. Let's go to, actually, I'm gonna be right back, and then I'll start. That way I can like, kind of do it all at once. Okay, I am back. I keep having to take a break because it's super hot here, and I keep having to get water. We're in the middle of a heat wave, so it is a lot. Yeah, I rated the last one. Okay. So this is Garbage Collector. Ever wonder what it will look like being part of Game Engine? Part of the Game Engine? A Game Engine? You're missing like the or A right here. The game is allocating so much new stuff. It's horrible. Who wrote this code? Who wrote this code? I mean, English might not be your first language or something, but it kind of throws things off when it's written poorly, unless that's part of the joke. Save it by removing used assets that are out of camera's view. You're a garbage collector. Your job is to clean corpses of enemies that the hero of the game killed. Sometimes you get a potion from the corpse. Drop potions to boost the hero or help yourself. Okay. Yay, you're here. Awesome. WASD or arrow keys for movement. Got my WASD. Spacebar. I'm on keyboard and mouse, by the way. Some people were on controllers, which really surprised me when I was watching some other streamers. Select items in inventory, scroll wheel, or numbers 1, 2, 3. Hopefully scroll wheel is enough, because I'm on a 60% keyboard. I have my numpad, but it would be a bit of a chore to hook up. Drop potion, left mouse button, pause, escape. Okay. You know what? Let me yeah, that's good. I was just making sure my Sound wasn't messed up on the last person, so it wouldn't mess up this one too, but it seems fine. Drop potions in the game world and collect it yourself to drink it, or let the hero do it. Health, damage, fire, legendary, kill all the enemies, rage. Cool, cool, cool. That's some... That just... Whoa. Oh, now when you refresh the page, it's full. How did that happen? This behavior from itch. Once you run the game, it fills the screen, even when you refresh. Is that just is that a setting? I mean, personally, I actually don't like this. If this is a setting somewhere, because I can't go look at the nice instructions that you gave me. But I've never seen this happen. Okay. Oh, my foot pedal acting up. Okay, play quit. Well, let's start a little bit different this time. Let's start a little bit different this time. It's a little bit off. Okay. So the menu's a little odd right here. Like, it took me a second to see the OK button down here, and I think what it is you have these kind of straight lines for the grass, and then this down here is a translucent dialogue box, and then I'm seeing these like buttony looking things in the dead bottom center, which is where my eyes are naturally drawn. Like this one stuck out, but I actually didn't see this right away. Maybe the dialogue box should have just had a solid background, because like this is actually kind of harder to read than I feel like it ought to be. I'm also kind of curious as to why it looks like I might be missing some health or something. Well, am I supposed to... Okay, my hands are off the keyboard. So, you are a garbage collector. Amazing. Clean corpses of enemies that the hero of the game killed. Yeah, the readability is weird. Clean corpses of enemies that the hero of the game killed. Okay. So he killed some guys. Space. Is that what this is? Click, click. Rest. Okay. So I know that I mean space bar. I would probably just put the word space there, because I feel like most people don't know that that means space bar. I feel like that's kind of a programmer thing. Help yourself or the hero by dropping the potion somewhere. See, like, your in-game instructions aren't... I don't think they told me to WASD move, right? So if I hadn't read its description, I don't think I would have known that, right? Was that there? Maybe going back and forth. Going back from that and streaming, sometimes I lose track a little bit. But I can't even, like, go check, because it's gone for some reason. I mean, I could open it in a new page. That way I can see. It seems like that auto pauses it. Yeah, okay. Help yourself with a hero by dropping the potion somewhere. Now you are ready for a big adventure. Also remember to not be seen on the camera. Bit of a programming joke. Oh, so I'm not supposed to be on the field at all. But I'm supposed to go pick this up? Do I have to like wait for the body? Or is the camera just the dots and not the ground, I guess? This is cute. I don't know that a non-programmer would have like immediately understood that the grass is not the border, but the dotted lines is. Like, I know that's like what the game editors look like, but what are the swords? Do they matter? What is this doing? I don't know. You lost. Player has seen the garbage collector on his computer screen. He was shocked. Okay. I'm sorry I terrorized the player. Okay. Oh, is that legendary? I have no way of knowing what these pickups are. That's as far as I can tell. I mean, I could probably guess. Oh, I think I got into the camera a little bit. But maybe just because it's the top of my head, it doesn't count as where the player is. Oh, now I understand what was wrong, that you couldn't maximize the game. I'm not sure if maximizing was part of it. I'm kind of wondering if I just go down. Like, what if I, like, ran really far away and I lost track of the player? You lost. The hero was slain by hordes of enemies. Oh, so it doesn't matter. Like, if you're just goofy enough to wander away, you're probably killing the hero anyways. It'd be cool if there's like an indicator still, because sometimes I feel like I'm a little bit off, but you know, game jam. Can't do everything in this kind of time period. And on some... Okay, I'm gonna try to click out for a second. I would have liked this to be a little clearer within the game. Heals one of the players. Damage, increase the damage. Burns enemies in range of the player. Ice. Like, I can guess what it is now that I've read that, but somewhere in-game that would have been nice. And most people don't even read itch. Like, what is this yellow thing? Oh, if you hover it. It's kind of a delay. I don't think I noticed that, because I think, I don't know, earlier... Oh, shoot. Earlier I didn't see that. Maybe I wasn't thinking to hover. Maybe just a little text thing above it instead, so it's just kind of there. Is my mouse... Yeah, my mouse is used to put stuff down. So... Oh, okay. So he can see the potions and come to get it at certain times. I like that the enemies that are spawning in have the little, like, unity icon. That's a really nice touch. That's really cool. And now that I'm getting into the game, like, instead of just being like, oh, what's this? What's that? I can appreciate that more. So I can put that down for him. Oh, is the player's health in the top left? Maybe that's what that's for. Okay, so he can pick it up. Nice. So I can get his health back up. Oh, I think I made myself fire. Oh, okay. So can I kill the bad guys too then? Does that do anything? Oh, they hurt me. So I also have health. I see. Items description is in the game. Oh, is it? Just when you hover is what you're talking about? Okay. It just wasn't immediately obvious to me. Ah! But I mean, you know, this is also my first time playing it, so that may or may not be an issue. I mean, I did think to hover over it, so maybe that's fine. Okay, so that... I can use that. It might even be better. I wonder what my range is for that. Is it bigger than the hero? Oh, shoot. Just trying to put that down. How far can I click? I can click really far. Okay. So I don't have to be near it at all. I think my instinct was that I had to be close to it, but I guess you just have to really be able to see the screen. This is a really cool idea. This is really creative. I really like the gameplay idea. What is this? Fire. In range of the player. Okay. Oh, they don't leave corpses. And I don't get stuff. What is this? Rage. Okay. Oh, I need help. You know? Okay. I'm gonna give this guy my hero needs help. I can dodge. My hero is probably not super able to. What? Just give him a million potions. Oh, I went in! This is such a cool idea, for real. Really cool concept. I don't think I've actually ever seen something that takes this approach even outside of the game jam. Like, it's a simple mechanic in a lot of ways, but like, it's just really cool. Even if someone's not a programmer, like, I feel like they get it, because, you know, like, they're used to seeing a camera if they're gaming. Maybe if I stand over here, I can draw them over, and the hero can have a second. Do they fight? Let's go back. Okay. Now that there's bodies, I can... It's tricky. Like, it's not... Like, it's tricky, but it's not, like, complicated to understand what's happening, so it's really easy to pick this up, which is really nice. Some of these games, like, it takes a bit. I'm not the, like, most gamer of all gamers, competitive person, but sometimes it takes a while to pick stuff up. But this picks up really easy, and it's still challenging, which is a really hard balance to get. Sometimes. Woo! No, no. You gotta really, like, dodge the player sometimes. Ah! I think I picked up the health when I meant to put down for him, but he'll get it. He'll get it eventually. I believe in you, player guy. This is a good take on the role reversal thing, even though I've seen a lot of people be like, you're not the player, you're something else. I don't think I've seen them be like, you're the programming. And I like that you have a time. That's a good way to have score. And actually screen cap that. Because I like putting stuff like that in the, point. Okay. I like putting stuff like that in the, description. Score. So is this like the total time you should last? Is there another level after this? Alright, let's see. You can even press escape to go to the inventory and look at that. Oh, and then like hover over it from here. Okay. I don't know that I would have thought to do that immediately. Resume. Play. Skip. I like that the tutorial just starts, but you can skip it. Especially in the game jam, there's a lot of tutorials you can't skip. Okay. I'm gonna try to beat this timer, and I think this is gonna be the last time I give this a shot, because I already like this a lot. This is really cool. And I feel like the art style works really well for this. Like, it makes me really feel like I'm part of like a game system, because it's like very gamey from the perspective of my character. Like if I wanted to show that my character was like in a kid's show or something, like how do I get to the bodies now? Is there a way I can distract the guys? Because my dude's gonna die, right? Can I get over here? Come here. Come here. Leave it alone. Let me get the body. Maybe I'm taking the wrong approach. Maybe I need to go around. I just want to last that minute. Oh, I walked in. Yeah. Okay. You know what? I'm not enough of a gamer for this, but it's really fun. This is a really cool take on this for sure. Just to just like a little. How do I make OBS? There we go. Sorry. I'm kind of new to streaming, trying to figure out OBS. Okay. Just total time till end. So there's not like another level or something I'm trying to get to. I just wanted to try to make sure I saw more of the gameplay, if there was more. But I'm not able to get that in a short period of time. I'm sure if I sat around and like played it for a while, I could get it. But I want to like get to some of the other games and try them out. So I just didn't want to ignore it. But that is really cool. I really had fun. Definitely a 5 out of 5 on just like the fun factor. Even though it's simple and like it's still challenging to just go around. Presentation. Alright, let's look at this a little closely. So presentation I want to do first because I like that you have screenshots. You even have a video, it looks like. There's a trailer. Let me look at this on YouTube real quick. I think it's always great when someone has a trailer to go with it too, especially in a jam when you're in a hurry. Let's see. Play the tutorial. It's not like a skip in here. But that's fine. I feel like the music really matches what it's going for as well. Like that really fits. It feels very like gamey, like old school arcadey. Even the art style, which is like simple, like it works for what it's doing. It makes it fit the idea of the game better. And like the idea in the first place is already really good. Thinking here. Yeah. I think with all of that, the creativity is also a 5 for me, just because the idea itself is so good and like everything is tied together really well with the art and the music and the idea. Even though the enemies are like the same, like it doesn't even have to be complicated. It just works. It's fun. One more time, just poking at this. You're saying this is from... I'm not really sure what you mean with the maximalize the game. Like I can make it big. It's just the fact that it's green and I can't go back to the description. Like having the tutorial was really good. It was really clear. I mean, the only thing I could even like nitpick at is the dialogue. I wish it didn't have a see-through background. And I get that you have the hover thing. I would have liked that to be a little bit more obvious personally, but I still feel like that's nitpicking a little bit. I feel like it's really likely that you made the art too, right? Yeah, you made most of the art, most of the music. Oh, did you make the music for the background too? That sounds really cute. It's really nice. So I don't think you necessarily did anything wrong or bad, but when I think about this game compared to a lot of the games I've seen in this jam, there's some games out there that just have more polish and more presentation and more oomph to them. Like their itch page, it's got a little bit more going on. Even though I think like this looks good, there's stuff out there that's shinier. There's stuff out there that's cooler. It's got more stuff going on, and I feel like that's the only thing I can do is compare it to that. I don't personally have something actionable to necessarily say about the presentation, but I feel like that's the one thing compared to a lot of them that I would say I have seen games that the overall package together that came together, it was just cooler. But I mean, that also might be, you had 2 people, you know, some of the teams had bigger teams and stuff too. They had more people to put polish on. Like the fact that we added just one person to do art on our team added a lot to our game personally, so because they got to just do art the whole time. It's the only one I can put. I feel like 4 is right for that one, even though I don't feel like I really can tell you something actionable, which I'm trying to do when I'm doing these game reviews. But seriously, super solid game. really nice for the game jam. Like, that was one of the more fun games I've played for sure. It's one of the highest ratings I've given, I think, too. Oh, let me add that score thing. I'm gonna mute so you don't hear all my tippy typing. I'm a little curious because it's been a little bit if any of the game devs that submitted after that one are around at the minute, because I'd prefer to play games of the people that are actually here at the moment. Just because it's nice if I can talk to the dev or anything, ask any questions. So is anybody there? If not, I'll just play it anyway, but I could bump someone up or something if y'all are around. Let's see, what's the next one? Some people are just filling out all the streamer forms they see, unfortunately. Get it in a way. But I'm not playing any games that aren't in the web. So I'm gonna have to skip on Swap Heist, because that one looks like it's on the download only. Alright, I'm gonna take a quick break, but when I get back, I'm gonna give Spook Shift a shot. Okay. Taking a break after each game is making it way easier to stream for longer. I'm learning my lessons here. Okay, so let me turn off this music. Gonna just check a few things before I jump into here. Alright, so this is Spook Shift by Fries Crisps Tubs. The player must reverse between the roles of trying to protect the citizens and then having to feed off of their health. Is this another one where I'm the bad guy? I hope it's not too scary. I'm not a big fan of scary, but we'll see. The art looks kind of like it might not be too terrible. I'm gonna get jump scared. That's what I deserve after making that kind of assumption. Play as the... I'm gonna zoom in. Play as the Dodal as he must swap between being alive and dead to protect innocent citizens from ghosts. Isn't he the ghost? Credit to my friends Mokul and Asher for help with the character and background art respectively. WSD to move, space to jump, shift to wall jump. But space also does wall jump? That seems like a little bit of a weird thing, but maybe that's based on something that already exists, and that's why that's that. X to kick. Click. If my fingers are on WASD, X is a little awkward to hit. At least in most of the games I play, if you're gonna have like an action key of some kind, it would probably be E. I mean, I suppose it depends on what the game's doing, but we'll see. Let's give it a shot. I'm digging this art. It looks like it very much looks like you drew it in MS Paint, and that's a vibe. You know what? I so appreciate this because this game is actually loud. I don't know if you saw, I immediately was trying to adjust my volume. Having a volume slider in a game jam is a luxury. Not what I expected from a game that looks very MS Paint-esque, but I'm for it. I feel like I want to like click on stuff. You know those like click adventure games? Anytime I see something like vaguely spooky, like there's like an eye in the tree, I want to click it. I want to see. There's a little bouncing dude here. Is this like the main guy? How to play. Control Doddle. Dodley. Doddle? I'm gonna go with Doddle. Good amount of health. Okay amount of health. Bad amount of health. He looks so disgruntled. I love it. Dodge these. Is this a traffic cone or candy corn? What is that? I mean, I don't like candy corn either, so that makes sense. Shoot and kick these guys who will fly towards the gyms. Defend the gyms. My name is Jem, so I'm defending myself. Make sure all their health bars don't reach 0. When you see this icon whilst you're alive, it's a very fancy word in the middle of this, run over to a gym and press Z to heal them. Are one of the devs a gym? Press right. Right? Okay, so I thought maybe you meant right click, but I think you mean right arrow. Nope, that's... I'm pressing D. That's not doing anything. I can function into my arrow key. That's a little awkward because I have a 60% keyboard, but I mean, most people don't. It's just a weird programming keyboard, so kind of fair. When your health, although, consider you already have WASD wired up for arrow keys, would have been kind of nice if I could just do that. It seems like a potentially easy way to go about it, but also game jam, tiny little polished things. Totally get not getting to that. When your health reaches 0, you turn into a ghost, and you'll now be on a countdown. Go to these guys' gyms and press Z to transfer their health to yourself, so your countdown doesn't reach 0. So I'm gonna save them and go like vampire them. Survive as a ghost long enough, and a vessel like this will spawn, allowing you to revive. So you go back to your body. I hope this and this aren't going to be... I hope that's going to be clear. We'll see. If I'm like this and I'm looking for this, it seems like a little awkward. Don't let the countdown reach 0 or you'll lose. Left to go back or press enter to go to menu. I like how you have like a photo of a forest and then you go back to MS Paint. Like, I'm not being sassy. I legitimately... I like this art style. It's funny to me, like in a good way. Oh, this is my guy. My weird Doodle. Is Doddle just a spin-off of Doodle? It has a gun. Like a Nerf gun. What am I doing again? I'm protecting the Jimmaroonies. Where is my health? Oh, it's down there. I'm already dying. Okay. I'm great at this. Okay, so I know you just gave me a lot of instructions. Okay, so escape just takes me back here. But, to then throw me into a screen where it's kind of bullet hell-esque is not my favorite. Dodge these. Okay. Okay. Your health reaches 0. You'll turn to dust. Oh, okay. I think I get it now. We're gonna try this again. No, stay away from my buddy. How do I... Whoa, 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 whoa. The controls are really weird. Oh, come on. I wonder if those little arrows are supposed to be a jumpy thing. So like... Oh, so they die at some point. Are the blue guys the same? Or did they just come after me? Oh, they shoot the little white things. Oh, am I a ghost now? Oh, okay. Do I eventually time left 0? Oh! Press enter to go to the main menu. Okay, I'm starting to get it. It's a little hectic to start. Usually when I see a beginning level, I kind of like it to ramp up a little bit. I'm definitely not good at this kind of game. I don't normally play this kind of thing. But it feels like a lot right out the gate. A place to donate. I don't think so. Like, thank you for the thought. I'm just doing this for my fellow game devs. But no, I don't have anything like that set up. Appreciate it though. Should you go to the main menu? Maybe I should set something about. I don't stream a lot. Okay. Okay, so let's try this again. I really want to know... Oh, okay. Dodge the candy corn. Ah, there we go. So what is this? What is this pink thing? It splits my... It makes me have 2 guns? No. It's just because it's a me. What is this double gun thing? What is this green square? Okay. So I can shoot through platforms. This is definitely not my type of game that I normally play. I'm picking it up now, but it took a few tries. The controls, I'm not really usually a platformer or anything, so do keep in mind that this is not the type of game I usually play. The controls feel very slippery. Like, I feel like I'm on an ice level. I don't know that that's intended. Whoa! Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I can shoot through stuff. And then, is there... Well, I guess if I want to heal them, but... Otherwise... Oh, 3 out of 20. Can I heal myself? No. Only, like, by becoming a ghost and stealing health, right? Or can I steal from these guys? No. Only when I'm a ghost can I steal health. Otherwise, I can heal them by going up to them and hitting Z. So that's where it's taking turns. So the role reversal is kind of like between being alive and dead. Between being a vampire. Okay. I'm gonna try again. I'm not really sure because like I see my ghost body appear, and then I was gonna go head towards it, and then the game ended. I'm not sure if there was something I was missing. I'm gonna try again because to me there's just a lot going on. I'm trying to like gather it and understand it, which is to some degree just normal when you're playing a new game. But I'm not really sure why it's resetting. Oh, thank you so much. That's really sweet. I'll look into how to do that. I've never really thought about it. Press enter. Okay, let's try again. What? Oh, here we go. Okay, so I can heal this guy, right? Oh, the jump and the movement is really awkward for me. Like, yeah. And now that I've played a few times, I don't think that's just a, like, I don't play this kind of thing. Very much problem. I think that's this should probably feel more responsive to the player. Like, the only time I want to feel this out of control of a character. Okay, so I'm gonna pay attention. It's time left 5. Am I supposed to steal? Oh, okay. So I don't want my timer to run out. Am I killing the gems? I'm killing the knees. Okay, so like, can I do the thing where I just barely keep them away from me so that I can heal my dudes? It's so awkward. The only time I ever want to feel this out of control of my character is like if I've done something wrong or like the environment's calling for it. Like if I've stepped into some kind of crowd control, if I've stepped onto some kind of ice map, then I feel like that would make sense. But yeah, I want the controls to be tighter. Having to jump to get up every time is also a little awkward, but I think that might just be tied to that lack of tightness in the controls. Let's see. Okay, so there's the dark ghost looking thing, and the blue ghost, and the green evil cube. I too dislike geometry for all of its sins against me. Okay, where's my vessel? Do the blue guys eventually die? Oh my gosh. So it's like a bullet hell mixed with oh my god, I can't get up there. It's like a bullet hell mixed with a little bit more of a traditional platformer. I don't know if those are usually together or not. Not my genre. Okay. Yeah, the jump feels like so high. Like the fact that I can jump across the whole map in one go, it feels awkward. I would say that's my main complaint. I'm gonna look at the level without really playing for a second. Is there a way to pause? No. Okay. Well, if I click out, does it pause? No, I don't think it does. It'd be nice if it did. I think that's a setting or something. Okay, so let's take this part and look at it. I like the mechanic a lot. It's a little bit tricky initially, but I don't feel like it's a bad thing. Like I feel like it makes sense within the context of what you're doing. I feel like the background is faded out enough where it's not distracting or anything. Mayor Gem. Let's see. Yeah, I like the graphics too. Like they always feel fun to me when they're drawn this way. I'm not really sure what this pink thing does. Is that something I missed in the tutorial? Just because like you're kind of getting bombarded with a lot of information at once. In a game jam, I know there's like a limited amount of time to like break things out and make it easier to start, but I meant to look at the tutorial, but it is just a lot at once. I'm not seeing anything about the pink arrow stuff. I'm shooting it. I'm near it. Oh, they're just what shoots the candy corn. I'm gonna say candy corn. I don't know why I didn't pick up on that faster. I think my brain just automatically is like, that's a thing you dodge and otherwise ignore. It's like ad blindness for candy corn. Candy corn blindness. Bug. Let's see. As a minor nitpick, I'm just nitpicking stuff to help learn. In the side, I'm gonna mute this real quick. Although I do like your music choice. I feel like it fits very well for what you're doing. It feels very like arcadey gamey, which suits the art style a lot. So, but I'm gonna mute it for a second so I can kind of think, because it feels hectic, which is like I think on purpose a bit. But the text in the bottom right corner of the screen, it's like all the way against the bevel of my monitor. I like to have things inwards a little bit more. It just looks better. I feel like it's a little bit almost not as readable because like a lot of people, I have a black monitor and it's black text against like the tiniest little bevel of my monitor. That L, it's almost like part of my monitor bevel. Honestly, it like from a design standpoint, it also just looks a little little strange. Platforms require tiles. Platforms require tiles? Are you talking about like a tiling system? Or something else? Like a tile system? Like a grid? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Let's see. This health thing in the bottom right, it seems like it's a really important part of the gameplay mechanic that I would maybe want like more centered. And this is also already part of the issue with like shoving everything in the corners. I have a really big monitor, and so that's like really far in my peripheral when it's shoved all the way in the corner like that, especially for something that seems like it's an important part of gameplay mechanic. Try to put it more in the center, like here, right here in the bottom center. That would be pretty good for me. With a lot of people's setups, you know, even somewhere in the middle or in the middle top. I'm a little bit lower than my monitor because it's big, which means I'm closer to the bottom of it, and I feel like that's becoming more of a trend these days. Like TVs and monitors are getting cheaper, so they're getting bigger. So I actually feel like the focus for a lot of people is not just center, but it's also kind of moving down as screens get bigger, because people often have them big and like hung up somewhere, or like even though I'm at my desk, because it's so big, I'm just like, I'd have to be on a stool up to here to have my head level with the top of my monitor. So just center and kind of a little bit down somewhere would be really cool to see. Trying to take in this much information and then also having it spread out so far made it a little difficult. So these shoot out these like candy corn things. It would have been such a minor detail, but it would have made it clearer to me. I think I thought, because this looks a lot like a D-pad, I thought this would be like a block you push, was my immediate thought, or it's something you jump on to move up, and it could eventually be moved or pushed somehow. And I think that's just like an iconography thing. It's just such a common thing to look kind of like arrow keys and not necessarily a spawner. Why are there French fries? What? Okay, listen. Okay, I know I said I was going to stop playing and critique this, but I really want to know what the French fries are about, okay? I don't know what that did. What did that do? Does that restore your health normally? My health was already full because I just respawned. I'm going to assume that was a health thing. I don't think I had noticed the French fries previously. I really like that kind of thing, like thrown in, and it looks really realistic. Like, it looks a little like goofy and fun. You know, even though it's simple, like the fact that you have like 3 different types of bad guys. I'm not sure if the green guy is like doing a different type of attack. I like the blue ones definitely are, but I don't know if the green cube guy is doing a different attack than the dark ghost, is that what you called it? I almost wish I could tab out so that this would pause, so I could like critique it. It might be a good thing to do just for game jams at the very least, to enable that setting that when you tab out it pauses. I know that's a setting for Unity at least. Is this Unity? I feel like Unity is so popular. I just assume it's Unity, but I don't think I saw a Unity splash screen, so maybe it's something else. Thinking here, anything else? Yeah, I would really like to know what this double gun thing is about. I don't know if that's on purpose. I think that's the last thing I can think of that I would comment on, that this looks strange. Like, I don't know what I'm aiming at. Like, it could be either gun. And in fact, I think it's randomly picking a gun, basically. I mean, it might be like tiny little pixel math and I'm moving my mouse a little bit, but yeah, a really, really cool game overall. I assume this is just like how long can you last, so it's a high score type of game, and that's cool. I always like that kind of thing because I feel like you get an endless playability for a game, so you don't have to necessarily make a million levels. You know, obviously with more time, more levels would be great at some point too. And you can even like try to aim for a high score per level or something if you ended up making more for this. But yeah, that's a really solid effort. That's really cool. I really like the art style. You know, I didn't kick at all the entire time, and I think that's partially because I have a gun. Like, why should I kick if I have a gun? Like, let me bring a foot to a gunfight. Well, okay, the animation for that is really funny, which is what I was hoping for. The only way you're gonna get me to bring a foot to a gunfight is if it's funny, which you delivered on. Good job. This is like a Zenyatta kick right here, from Overwatch. Okay. Thinking anything else? I think that's all the feedback I can give on that one. I'm just going through the list. It depends on which one, but there's only one more on the current queue after the one I just played, so I assume that if that one's yours, then I'll probably be looking at it in a minute, if that's the one you submitted to the form. You're lucky, because here in the States, it's super late, and I think a lot of people aren't awake across the pond. Game name is Ultimate Driving. Yeah, that's the next one. So yeah, I'll be getting to that in a minute. You haven't voted on this game yet. Let's see. So, I'm rating this in relation also to other people's games within this jam. Just a heads up. I did enjoy it, but the controls were very finicky, and I say this as someone whose own game jam submission had really bad control problems. It really is one of the biggest parts of enjoying a game, is feeling like you're connected with your character, and especially in a platformer, I feel like tight controls, or at least like intentionally making the controls in a certain way, is probably the most important aspect of platformers, even though I'm not a huge platformer person. So I have to knock off a good bit for that. And although I think it's really great that you had levels, and I think it's, you know, great that anybody submits anything at all for a game jam, it is so much work. I would have liked to see a little more variety with the levels, even though I do like that there was a variety with the enemies. But I did have fun. It was cool. I did shooting things and knocking them off, and the gameplay mechanic idea of giving health but also taking health at certain times, I thought that was really cool and creative as well. The art's really funny. I do feel like the humor carries it in a way, but I mean, realistically, if you're competing in the gaming market in general, you're competing against people who have like decently polished art and stuff. A lot of the times, like if I had to pick to compare, theirs is gonna look better and more polished. It just is. But overall, between those two, like, I had fun. I just wished for more variety. I wished for more levels. I like the music. There just could have been more, even for a jam. Like, because it's a platformer, once you build a lot of those base systems, I feel like it's not too crazy to just, even if it's simple, just slap some different shaped platforms and put a different background on and call it a day, and it would still add a little variety to it. And you could have even used that to space out the enemy types a little bit, so that you weren't just getting bombarded by like literally every enemy just about all at once. I think the green guys and the blue guys come in a little later, but I think it's those candy corn things that are immediately shooting everything out that makes me feel like, oh, this is a lot right now. Presentation. I like to look at the itch page for this. I feel like the page definitely matches the game, and this is like a cool style, and like you changed the font and stuff for sure. I don't really feel like you need a lot of stuff down here because the game's pretty straightforward, so it's very like clear on what it is. It would have been nice to have screenshots here. I think I've seen some other people who had them, but I think it might depend on how you have it set up. Because I have screenshots from mine, but I think they only appear here. I might have to change something on my page too. I mean, you have the main menu with the volume button and stuff too, though, which is honestly a big deal for a game jam. I feel like the presentation's a solid 3. Like, the stuff you have is good. It's well done. But there could just be more stuff in general done. More variety. A little more polish and sparkle on it. But I mean, it's a really good fun little game. I really enjoyed it. Alright, I'm gonna mute for a second so you don't hear my typing. Oh, I'm not trying to be scary. I promise I'm only doing this to hopefully give some constructive criticism. Like, my intention with this is just to, like, help myself learn what is good from games, what do I like in games, and to help, like, the other game devs learn, because, like, the only thing that's really pushed me to keep doing these game jams is the feedback, because I can be doing YouTube tutorials all day. Like, there's just nothing as good as getting those playtests and seeing what players actually think of things you actually make. So I'm not being scary, I promise. I'm just looking. But you know, I don't really actually feel like it takes like a crazy amount of time to make the itch page look at least a little decent. Like, I mean, there's people who leave it the default white though. You know, like, just the fact that there's color on there and tried to make it match the game theme is already more work than some people put in. And it's something you can do after the jam ends. And, like, we're a few days after the jam, so even if you, like, were like, oh, I'm exhausted, and, like, on Monday you're dead tired, on Tuesday you could have came back and updated a few things, which is actually what I ended up doing. Like, I didn't make a walkthrough right away. I made a walkthrough, like, the day after the jam ended, and then I added it in, and it was just a little something extra to make things easy. And it was especially important because I noticed a lot of players were like, I don't know where to go. Oh, there's a walkthrough. Like, they know where to go now. Not that every game needs a walkthrough, but mine did. So I'm going to save that and type OK. I am getting the next game game queued up. Give me just a minute. Alright, I'm gonna take a quick 1 or 2 minute break and then I will check out the next game. I am back. It is still a million degrees and I literally have an ice pack just to keep cool without having the fan right next to me and making the microphone sound like I'm in a wind tunnel. There actually is a fan back there, but in my audio test at least, when it's way across the room, it's not so loud. So hopefully that's still the case. If my constructive criticism sounds like whoosh, 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 please let me know. I don't want to be hurting everyone's ears, but I don't want to melt. It is extremely hot today. Okay, let me check out the next game real quick. You're learning game development. I think that is why most of us are here, so you are in good company. Oh, thanks for checking out our game. Glad you thought it was cute. Trying to find a decent place to put this. Okay. So this game is Ultimate Driving Brick Breaker. I like the car. I think I already get the idea from just glancing at this, which is a really good sign. I like when things are really straightforward. I game like a fair amount, but I generally prefer simpler games, and I think because I work on complicated stuff with programming, when I do sit down to relax, a lot of the times I don't want like a really complicated like card deck builder crazy 5,000 hour game. I want something simpler. So it makes me very happy when I can kind of see like what this probably will be. Classic brick breaker game with top down car driving. Is this gonna be like what is it called, Rocket League? I like that game though too. Let me check that my sound is working, because I had adjusted it when I left before I hop into your game. Yeah, it's working. Okay. Okay, so immediately off the bat, oh, you were inspired from Rocket League. That's awesome. That's cool. And I do want to like reiterate what I just said a little while ago. You know, I know you're learning game development. Anything I say, like, don't take it too hard. I'm just trying to say it so like we can all learn from it. So if you feel like, oh, why are you picking all these little things? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to like for us to all learn here. So immediately when I get to your page, if you've been watching some of my game reviews, you've been seeing all of these itch pages and they're decorated in some way. Even if it's just a little bit, if you add a little something to your page, it'll look a lot better. Just changing the color of the background to like this green or something, or like the brick cement color, so it looks like the wall around the web player. It'll make it look a lot better, and it's super easy. Like it's itch.io just has a few buttons to click to change the color. You can actually even do that now, because like you're allowed to edit your itch page during the jam judgment period. You can't edit your game file. Don't delete it. I made the mistake last year. Don't delete the game file, but you can even add a little color now if you wanted to, but it's super fast, even just to add color like the last person did, to just make it like purple so it matched. It looks way better to do that. Controls, arrow keys. I'm gonna see if WASD works. My arrow keys are a little difficult to use with my keyboard setup, but I do have an unconventional keyboard setup, and especially for a fast game jam, and especially early on in your game development, it's really hard to account for people with weird keyboard setups. I should really I have parts coming in, so I can try to have a different keyboard setup soon for trying things with a more conventional keyboard, but right now it might be a little weird, but I'll see what I can do. Combining the classic brick breaker concept with a top-down car and a paddle attached to the front, oh, that's cool, adds a unique twist to gameplay and introduces an element of control and strategy by having the player drive the car while aiming and hitting the bricks with the bouncing ball. Integration of the car as the player's platform. It adds a dynamic element to the game. Just from reading this, I'm not sure I get what the theme is on role reversal. It's nice when I can, but we'll play the game and see if it kind of hits on the theme more, because it doesn't really feel like it would just from reading it. Sorry, I've been talking for way too long. I'm starting to realize. Okay, let me make this full screen. And that works. Sometimes that itch.io button does not work. I wonder what the factor is for that, because for a lot of games it makes most of the screen black and it doesn't make the game bigger. But it's been working all evening, so I don't know. Ultimate driving brick breaker tip: don't move the car while hitting the ball. Okay. Score 100 to win. Press the R key to restart. Controls, arrow keys. Alright, let me see. Okay, so WAS doesn't work. Okay, this is...
Game over.
I'll just figure out the controls. I already lost. I like the voice for the game over. A lot of people don't add voices to stuff at all. Like, that's a really nice touch, actually, especially if you're early on and starting to make games. Sound effects in general, I feel like a lot of people don't get to it till later.
Game over.
Okay, bear with me. I'm trying to work with this awkward keyboard setup. I'm having to function into my arrow keys. So I'm actually having to push like an additional button. So it's just the front of the car? Or does the side of the car also hit? Oh. This is hard. Like, it is a classic on the game for sure. But it's tricky. Like, not in a bad way. Like, it feels like a good challenge. I think this side of the... Well,
Game over.
I think the side of the car might actually also hit it. No.
Game over.
Is it like the trunk? Or not the trunk. The hood of the car that's hitting it? Ball need to collide. Paddle rolls reversed. Ball need to collide, not the car. I don't know. I'm not sure I fully understand that. That's one of the hard things about this jam, though, like, with controls being reversed, it's just not what people are used to. Is there something that kind of indicates that that's the case? See anything that says paddle rolls? Car should move around. Study tip. You're saying car should move, but this says don't move the car when hitting the ball. I'm sorry, I'm a little confused as to what you mean. Let's see. I'll try again. I mean, if I can get it to even partially work. Okay, so that hit the bumper. I'm trying to see if there's like a front part of the car, because I feel like I hit it a little bit earlier. Yeah, like that was on the hood of the car, right? Oh, you know what? I think it's like...
Game over.
I don't know if I have Epic Pin. So, like, the body of the car doesn't have collision, but I think when it hits the hood, if you can see my mouse, it comes in like this, and it bounces right here, and it's only bouncing off this bumper, but it looks like it's hitting the front of the car, so I was a little confused for a second. I'm not really sure from a gameplay design standpoint what you would do about that, if you even wanted to do anything about that. So can I hit with the back side of the bumper the whole time? Oh, messing up my sound. Is there supposed to be music or something?
Game over.
No, I'm hearing the sound effect. It would be really nice to have some background music. Just grab whatever free song off of like freesound.org or any of the other asset places listed in the FAQ of GMTK Jams page. Actually, I can show you. Haha, it's right here. If you come down here, there's like, I need art and audio. Here, audio. Just grab any free song out of there. And stick it on there. It'll add a lot to the game. Ball should collide the car. Turn car. I appreciate that you're trying to help, but I don't know what you mean. I'm so sorry. I'm really confused.
Game over.
Okay, so you can hit...
Game over.
This is tricky. You can hit the ball on the back side of the bumper that's on the front of the car. So if you can see my mouse, you should be able to see this on the screen. You can hit the ball on this side of the bumper. And I'm not sure what you would want to do with that, but it feels kind of wrong as the player. Like, that's not what I'm trying to do. If it's intentional in some way, like maybe, but like for me, it just feels wrong that that's the case. Maybe if there was a certain graphic, you could make it clear that it's only the front that's supposed to be hit. But it just feels, it doesn't feel intentional. It feels like a physics thing that was left over. And it feels like I'm not in control of what I'm trying to bump in the way that I would expect, because my brain's used to being like, okay, obviously a ball couldn't go through a car, if that makes sense. It's okay. I just I'm sure it can be beaten. I'm trying to understand what's happening, so I'm just talking to explain my thoughts out loud as I'm playing, just for learning. But I'm sure it can be beaten. I was just testing what works and how it works. This is more of like QA with some gameplay involved than just playing. I feel like I'm gonna like turn on my own music because I want music so badly. I need my sounds. Oh, no. Oh, go. Okay. I'm gonna tab out. I'm gonna get on music. I'm a gamer. No. I've got this. I've got music. Okay. No. See the back side.
Game over.
Okay. Don't push with car. Don't push with car. Stop the car while ball coming. Don't push the car. Oh, you're wanting it to act like that. The problem with that, when you have a car in gameplay, like, that's just not my instinct to just constantly be stopping a car. Like, even in Rocket League, I don't feel like that's at least what the beginners do. I'm sure, like, there's pros that stop the car and stuff a lot, but I mean, it also works to a degree, right? Like, it's not like it's really stopping me. No, it's actually bouncing. It's hard to, like, line it up to be, like, there, though. Like, trying to play it that way isn't my natural instinct, and it's not, it's not really... Oh, I'm just gonna restart. It's not really what I would expect to do right away. Well, I want to bump it. Like, that's that's what a car would do. Well, oh, I lost control for a second, but I might have accidentally tabbed out or something. My keyboard's not meant for this.
Over.
What is this? Let's take you to the main screen. Okay. it's good that you have a main screen button there too. I appreciate anytime there's like good menus, because menus are overlooked a lot in game jams. And it can be so simple, just like return to home screen, but it helps a lot. Oh, okay.
Game over.
No, your game is good. It's good. There's some things that I would like different personally, but like every game is different. But I mean, it's honestly pretty good, especially if you're learning, if you're newer. There's a lot of little details that were polished that were done really well. What is this? Is this the exhaust of the car? Whoop. Yeah, it's the exhaust. I like that. That's like such a tiny detail. It looks good to have the little exhaust smoke there. That's cool. I like it. That's a good game. I don't really want to like play the whole thing because I prefer to try other games. Like, I'm afraid I've played games like this before, right? Like I get what it's about enough to review it. But great job. Like it's fun. It's cool. It's simple, but you know, sometimes the classics are what works. And like we recreated Whack-A-Mole a few game jams ago, and like everybody knows what it is, right? So it's fun. There's a reason they're classics, because they've stuck around for a while, right? Yeah, I totally believe you. Some people are good. I'm not a pro. I'm a gamer for fun. I'm not a pro. It's totally fine. But nice work. Good job. What do you think? So this is just for me. I can only rate the game on my own behalf, right? I can't vote from anybody else's shoes. I'm not a really big fan of, you know, brick breakers. Like, they're okay. They're kind of slow. Like, did I have fun? It was alright. Like, I like the idea. I like the concept. There's like bugs. I think the window's left open too long. I like the ideas. I like the concepts of just like driving the car around. I would have liked to see a little more control with the bumper, and like, yeah, I get other people have beaten it, but it's not really helpful to just point like, oh, other people can play it. I can only tell you if I enjoy it or not. And not everybody will enjoy your game. Maybe it's not their type of game. Maybe they don't like the way like you decided to be intentional in a certain way or something. That's okay. Not every game is for everybody. But it was okay. I would have liked to see more, but I mean, it's Brick Breaker. There usually isn't more. I like the twist on it with the car and stuff, though. I do think that was creative. And I like the controls that you did have with the car, where you're driving around and stuff and bouncing around. Basically combining Rocket League with Brick Breaker. Like, that's a good idea. However, I don't really feel like a role was reversed. Like, just saying, like, the ball and paddle having to stop or something is reversed. It's not 1 star. I'm rating what I believe. You know, if I'm not gonna write what I like don't believe. I'm being honest. I think it's very easy for me to enjoy a game, unless like there's just not any gameplay there. As far as gameplay, like, it's Brick Breaker. Like, it's a classic. There's gameplay. I didn't really see though. I don't really feel like I saw the theme in there. It's Brick Breaker. It's classic. I didn't see a role reversal in any way. And it's usually where I kind of like give some stars for creativity. But I do like the car aspect of the paddle, and I can see like the amount of programming you probably had to put in to like really make that like kind of work. Probably took some effort. The level's a little plain. You know, it's a car. Like, I feel like you could have really dived into the theme of the car a little more. Maybe the bricks could have been like something car related that you were like breaking down or like tearing down or something. The field could have been a road or just something a little more like tied in with the theme, because it feels like soccer. It feels almost like you just copied Rocket League, which is a good game. but like just copy like a green soccer field and call it a day, it doesn't really work for the limited scope of what you're doing, like just by itself. And like Rocket League is soccer, so it makes sense that it's a soccer field, but like this is Brick Breaker. It doesn't need to be like a soccer field. But I like the car, so I'm gonna give you 2 stars because I like the whole car idea behind it. I mean, I kind of get what you're saying, but with the paddle roll is reversed because you're like trying to wait for the ball. But I feel like that's kind of normally how I play Brick Breaker. Like I pause the bar going across and you just stop. So that doesn't feel very different to me at all. Presentation, like I appreciate that there's menus. I appreciate that there's a home menu. I like, not everybody even gets this. Sometimes the game just like goes, but there's nothing on the itch page. The controls are a little confusing. It's not really what I would have instinctively tried to do. So, I feel like there should have been a lot more in presentation. But you did have menus, so that's not a 1 for me. Because some people, it's a blank itch page, and there's no menus, and that's it, and call it a day. But good effort. Okay, I'm gonna mute so I can type without killing everyone's ears. But congratulations on finishing the game jam. I mean, like, even if it's like an early on project, Brick Breaker is like a really good beginner project to get into game making with. You know, it still requires quite a lot of skill and effort to make something like this, and to add a twist like the car, that takes extra like knowledge of how to put things together. So that's really awesome. Okay, I will give a comment if you don't want. But thanks for the game. Alright, I'm gonna line up the next game. And thanks for swinging by my stream. Let me check it out. Oh good, there's another game in queue. Let me check it out. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you thought so. We tried to make it something cozy and relaxing. Oh, I remember seeing the art for this game on somebody else's stream. I didn't watch the gameplay too much because I didn't want to get spoiled, because I wanted to check it out myself. But I think I remember this one vaguely, like the idea, and it was a cool idea. So I'm gonna take a quick 1 or 2 minute break just to cool off a bit because it's hot here, and then I'll come check out Reversing Roles. Okay, and we're back. And I think we just hit around the 3-hour mark for streaming. So I might call it quits after a little bit, but we'll see how we're doing. Surprisingly, still quite awake. Alright, let's see here. I'll make sure there's no notes or anything. Alright, I think we're good. So let's check out Midori Monkey's game, Reversing Roles. A race, but you're going backwards. Ah, yeah, that was it. I remember that now. Race other roles using your mirrors. Oh, and it was like actually bread for the art. Yeah, I remember. Because I was like, this looks like Papers, Please for the ID. I guess they've taken the market on pixelated identification papers. How does your game fit the theme? Play on words, the role of the mirrors and windows are reversed. Really, obviously, this one fits the theme. Created most of the art. Used pre-existing audio. That makes sense. Right off the bat, we see some color in the background. I like the blues together. Those are really calming and nice, and they match the screenshots that I can see with the theme for the trees, which are teal. It makes it feel very dream sequency, which also makes sense if you're driving bread backwards. So that really fits. A race, but you're going backwards. Race other roles using your mirrors. See if you can get a better time score than other players. Goes for 2 laps. Oh, do you have a scoreboard system somehow? Left click and right click doop doop to view mirrors. WASD to move. Hopefully your forward button works, else you'll have to drive in reverse around the whole track, which would be a shame. Is that the point of the game? R to restart if you get stuck, or a weird thing that probably shouldn't have happened happens. That's nice, because usually you just have to refresh the page, but it's nice to just have it in there. Don't worry, the steering wheel is supposed to do that. R for restart makes sense, because like it starts with R, but it is very close to WASD. Maybe I'm just a fumbler, but it's a little close for comfort for me to accidentally restart the game. See my mistake a few hours ago where I accidentally hit the side button on my mouse and ended one of my games early by going back on the page. Yeah. We plan to update the game in future, so look out for that. Oh, cool. Okay, let's give it a shot. The ID is good. So I'm actually gonna refresh real quick because I think you can see it. The Unity web GL thing with the full screen button down here, in the itch.io page, you have to account for it. So I'll show you just real quick with ours. See how you can see the full button here, and you can see the full, let's mute this. You can see the full Unity and WebGL logos down there. So the way you fix that is you go in here and you add a little bit of a buffer to the height. 1280, yeah. I think it's 44 pixels extra that you add to just this, and I think you can even do that now since it doesn't involve editing the game file. And then you'll be able to see the full screen button all the way. Like, I know what it is, like, because I also code in Unity, but someone else might not realize that's a full screen button. That happened to me in some of my first jams. People just didn't know that that was full screen. Reversing roles. Is this supposed to do something? Oh, press space to begin. I like that this press space to begin is integrated into the art. That's cool and it looks good, but I think if you added an effect of some kind, like a shimmer, or like something that thematically makes sense for a driver's license, I I don't know, like a flashlight flashes on there. Not like crazy, don't strobe light me. Just something that makes sense to like make this stand out more. That would have been a really good idea, because I was about to refresh the page. I thought it was broken. I didn't see that right away. So, it's WASD, right? And then you left and right click to see the mirrors. Okay. And then you have a mirror up here. I like how it's like, oh, what a shame if your forward button doesn't work. Yeah, what a shame indeed. Okay. Oh, this is hard. Alright. Oh, no, this way. Alright, I feel like I'll be okay driving backwards if there's no other cars on the road, because you just align with the edge of the road. But once there's like other cars on the road, this gets really difficult, right? Listen, I used to own like four-wheelers and go-karts and stuff. Driving backwards is not too hard, but I saw in screenshots that there's like bread cars and stuff. Where are they at? Do they come in at a certain point? Does it give you some like mercy laps? Oh, now the track is changing. I thought it was just a circle. That makes that harder for sure. But I can just hang on to this and then like line up with the side of the road if the track's not too crazy. But I don't think the track is just a circle. I think it's a little bit of a weird shape, right? Where's the finish line? Where's the other cars? Is that a car in the distance? Or is that just the tires? I like the pixelated style, but it's 3D. This is Unity, right? So it's just like pixelated textures on 3D then, I guess? It looks really good though. Like it feels like nostalgic and arcadey, but you get that benefit of like cool gameplay. Okay, so there's, oh, it's a race, so time does matter. Okay. Oh, I lost it. I tried to move the ice pack and I lost my groove. I was going well for a while. Something I would like to see, since this game relies so heavily on mirrors, unless it's an intentional choice to force me to go back to looking at the game normally, is I can't see when I'm in the mirrors like this what place I'm in or progress. And I see a car up there. Is there something I'm supposed to do to like speed up more? Or am I just intended to catch up with them after a while? Oh. Okay. I'm gonna guess that this screen is telling me I win, so I'm gonna keep driving so I can talk about it. But because I'm in this mirror view, which is what I've just done the whole time, because like I've driven backwards in real life. What you're supposed to do in real life is actually just look at the side of the road, which is what I've been doing, and just align your car with the side of the road. So I can't see the windscreen. If you end up developing on this game more, I would, if you're trying to force me to look at the windscreen, force me to transition hopefully smoothly to this windscreen, which I'm gonna let go and hopefully see. Reversing roles, you win. I'm in 4th place. Do I win in 4th place? I also can't read this game by... Is that an A or an O or something? This font's a little hard to read. Something party. 1622.1. Alright, so I'm gonna... I mean, it's cool in a way, but it should force a transition to that middle screen at least once so that you can do it. So is there a way to... I just have to hit R to restart? I would have liked something in the menu to tell me how to restart, like as a reminder of the instructions, because even though you give instructions in the description, like realistically players don't memorize your entire instruction booklet when they play a game, right? So okay, so I was just so far behind the other guys because I was like talking about the game that I didn't see them the whole time. I'm that level of gamer. I was just looking at stuff. we're gonna play again. Just to see how I do. I don't want to like mess up my second attempt where I'm actually able to see the other cars because I want to see how well I can do, how hard it is. But I might go in afterwards and see if like the snow makes me spin out or something. I'm kind of curious about that. Oh, the perspective shift. Ugh, that's difficult. But you have to do it, right? Like you have to swap so that you can make these tight turns. I like that. Now that I'm actually trying to win, I'm competing. That's smart. Oh, no, go back. This side. Yeah, there we go. And then I need to go to this side. Wow, that gets difficult there. To see how you reverse. Whoa. Yeah, I don't want to have to like... Oh, you can see it on this side of the mirror. You can't see in the other. That does add like some like realism to it, but like gameplay wise it's actually rather annoying that I can't see what's going on. Oh, okay, it's gonna be a turn this way, so I actually need to be on the inside. And then I think it's a turn the other way, so now I swap to this side to make the tight turn. Well, hopefully not into the snow. And then I think it goes the other way. Well, I'm not sure if I'm just not clicking well or something, but there's sometimes a bit of a delay going from the left mirror to the right or the right to the left. Or maybe I'm supposed to double click to get it? Okay. Well, I'm in second place, but yeah, I can't see any of the UI over here. Even if that's intentional, I just don't think that's a good idea in that particular case. But that's such a cool game. I really like the art. That's really fun. I'm glad I got to actually play it. I did see someone play it a little bit before, but I didn't look too close. But like, it really is fun. That's a cool idea. It definitely hits on the theme really well. Yeah, let's take a look. Okay, so enjoyment. It's fun. Let me start by the strong points instead. I don't have to necessarily rate it in the order. It's a very creative take on the theme. I feel like this like take on the theme is creativity thing. The art is really good. The music matches what's going on. The page looks good with it, and I feel like that's part of the art style, that it matches this like dreamy teal kind of landscape that you're going in, which you know, I just thought it was teal when I was looking at it. I realized now that I've played the game, like it's like a snowy area. It's really cool. Oh, I wanted to see if the snow makes you spin out or something. I'm gonna check that real quick. Do I not get punished for driving in the snow? I don't think the handling's getting any worse just for driving over the snow. Oh, now I'm stuck. Oh, I see. Okay. Well, I mean, game jam. There's gonna be bugs. I'm turning my wheel around and I'm not seeing a way to get out. So if this gets developed more, I think you'll need a way to get out. I'm holding it down. I see like movement, but it's so slow. That would basically ruin the game. It's good to know the trees do stop you and stuff, but in most racing games, I feel like the terrain that's not the track slows you down in some way, and especially because I was just trying to hug corners to gain time. I could have just cut the corners completely. It would have been nice if the snow made it spin out or slow down or something. I mean, just slowing down would have been a like fairly easy thing to program, probably, compared to some of the other stuff you could do. Thinking about it. I might want to submit my game, but maybe if the queue is very long. Oh no, you're making the cry face at me. Now I feel like I should. Alright, Ghost Bomb. If you hang out for a minute, if you submit your game anyways, I'm gonna let that be the last game I do for the night, because the main reason I don't do downloadable games is I don't want to take a lot of time. But if you give me a link and fill out the form, I'll do one downloadable game. Got here just in time. And that'll be the last one I do. And the sooner you do it, the sooner I can start downloading while I write the review for Reversing Rules. Hopefully you're here to hear me, so... Let's see if that comes through. I don't know if I responded fast enough. I know there's a little bit of delay between YouTube and the chat. We'll see. Okay. It's enjoyable. It's very... No, I was working on creativity. Creativity. The art is stellar. The music's stellar. The idea and the theme are stellar. I would have liked to see a little more variety in the gameplay. Maybe I'm just weird for having driven backwards a lot in real life, but it felt very samey for a lot of it, but I feel like that would go under enjoyment, because I feel like all of the like artistic, creative aspects were done very well. So I'm gonna give you a 5 on the creativity, like just on theme, the art, the music, all of that hits well. On enjoyment, like I said, it gets kind of samey for me. Like, I'm just kind of line up the side of the car or the side of the road, and that's kind of it. And I could just stay in one mirror the whole time. Oh, awesome, Ghost Bomb. I'll, let me pull that up, and then I'll return to this game real quick. Oh, I already like the art on this. I'm kind of glad I'm doing that. Okay. Oh, it's really small too. Okay, cool. You might have to walk me through how to do this, because I don't think I've downloaded games. I'll see if it's in the zip, but we'll see. Okay. Let's see. That's good. Okay. Oh, actually, I'll need to have that open when I'm looking at the game. I would have liked more variety in the gameplay. I would have liked maybe for the track to be a little different in some way. I feel like the track felt predictable. The other cars were kind of predictable. I think they were all the same asset for the other cars. And I mean, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Yeah, they're just kind of cubes. Like, you know, draw some really bad MS Paint sunglasses and googly eyes on them. Just something to make them look a little different. And I'm definitely just nitpicking to give ideas for, you know, what I look for in games and stuff. And things that can be actionable, that can be acted on. Enjoyment. Let's see. Just, like, I feel like when I say enjoyment, I really mostly mean gameplay. And for me, personally, it's too samey for me. I don't feel like there was a lot of variety or challenge other than line up car with side of road. But I feel like there's a lot of room where you could add stuff, where the player is forced to look in more mirrors more frequently, or that there's like a reason to look at the center mirror more frequently. I feel like there's definitely room to expand on that as you continue to develop the game. But as it stands right now, I feel like that's the thing that's lacking. Let me look at this again. Presentation, once again, like it when there's screenshots. You can already see an idea of what the game's going to be. And I like that you picked a screenshot with UI in it, so you can kind of see like what you're going to be looking at later too. Other than that, it's a little plain, but I mean, the game is really simple to pick up, which is always really good. So in some ways, the understated ability to just jump into a game actually means the presentation and design of how you're giving gameplay to the player is actually better, because it's so simple you don't have to necessarily think about it and have a bunch of stuff written there. It's so polished. The art really does look good. Let me see, one more thing. Like, I like that the UI you have, like, it's pixelated here. This looks a little strange, having this really smooth, like, Arial smooth font around it, especially because you had UI that was pixelated. So I would think you already had the ability to make UI that looks like it would fit the theme well. But to be honest, although those are things I could nitpick at and say, I feel like the presentation overall is like 5 out of 5, especially for a game jam, especially for this kind of like time, and especially compared to a lot of the other games in this jam. The presentation factor is just really high. So like, stellar job. Like, and I think the only thing that I would love to see improvement on is something that there's lots of room if you continue to develop to just add stuff in for that. That's the thing I would think would be developed. Okay, gonna GM games? Oh, is that Game Maker Ghost Spawn? Yeah, I like the blue and brown too. It goes really well together. It feels very like vintagey, old style in winter. It's really cool. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna mute for just a second while I type out a comment. Alright, quick 1 or 2 minute break, and then I will check out Grounded by Ghost Spawn. And I am back. So, glasses are crooked, so maybe I should have fixed that before I sat back down. Okay, make sure there's no notes or anything. Alright, so we've got Grounded by Ghost Bomb. And this was the only downloadable game I'm playing. Okay, small reversal on expected platforming mechanics. I already really like the art. It's really cool. I like the shading and stuff. I'm a sucker for pink hair though, I'm a little biased. Okay. Here. And I already like the way you did the colors, even though it's simple. It complements the logo really well. Just a regular platformer, arrow keys to move, space to jump. I really need to get their keyboard set up, but I don't have the stuff yet. It'll be here tomorrow, so I have to function into my arrow keys. I have a weird keyboard setup, but maybe WASD works, and if it doesn't, I'll just have to hold the function button down the whole time. A fairly short game. Later version may have more levels with more mechanics that were cut for the jam. Totally understandable. Most of these games are pretty short. I'm actually really shocked whenever I see a long game. I think there was one I played the other day that was like 30 minutes long. I was really surprised. Like it wasn't me like taking a long time to like play, because I'm not that great at games either. They legitimately just wrote that much content for the jam. Everything was made by me in 48 hours, including art, music, and SFX. That's awesome, especially to make art, music, SFX, and then like actually put it into a game by yourself. That's really great. Okay, so maybe I'm just an itch noob. I would love to have instructions on what to do once you get the download. I'm gonna look at it really quick. I just upgraded to Windows 11 too, so and this is a new computer, so I'm trying to get used to it, because like even when you're just like looking at how files are saved and stuff, everything's just a little bit different than it used to be, so I'm trying to make sure I'm doing it right. Okay. Click the application, extract it, and then click it in. Okay, so when I get to here, I guess I just click on this application thing. Oh, it extracts it without a folder. Oh, that was my other thing. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, this is just me noobing around with my current setup. This is not a you thing, I don't think. What's in here? Data, options, and grounded. I'm gonna stick that in a folder. Oh, can I do that? Oh my gosh, how do you use Windows 11? I'm so sorry. Like that. It looks so much like Mac now. Okay. Windows protected your PC. So I'm not too worried about this. I've made programs before where this has come up, but this is something you have to keep in mind with downloaded programs of any kind. You'll get this warning. I'm not sure there's much you can do about it as an indie game dev, except tell people that they have to click on this and then click run anyway if you're gonna put instructions in there. Which I don't know if that's the norm or not. But like, as someone who usually just plays web browser games, I would love to have install instructions. So even if it's not the norm, like personally, I'd put them in there. Maybe you can look into how to remove this, but I think you have to pay money to remove this or something. I'm not really sure if it's still the case. Okay. I can't make this full screen. Can't extend it. So the problem is my monitor is quite large, and the fact that I can't maximize this window or make it bigger is actually kind of annoying. It's actually worse on my other screen, which is kind of funny. Maybe I'm misunderstanding how this works. The screen I'm looking at and playing on is a 4K monitor, and the other monitor is 1440p, but it actually gets smaller on the 1440p, which is not how I feel like most of my programs work. But yeah, just something to keep in mind. I don't know what you can do with Game Maker. Maybe this is just like a default Game Maker thing, but this is really tiny on my screen, like relatively. Like it's not the worst, but like I'm not playing a game for ants, but it's kind of small. You do a lot of freeware. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm not too worried about it personally, but it spooks a lot of people. Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, I feel like making games, it's all just polished stuff like that, like all these little tiny things with all these weird different setups. Like, I'm on a 60% keyboard. A lot of people don't think about like all these weird keyboard configurations. I've had people play my games and they played it with like, you know, the craziest, weirdest setups that I've never even heard of, and I was like, I'm so sorry, I never even knew that was a thing to like account for. Okay, so WASD doesn't work. You have a smaller screen. Oh, okay, that makes sense. And then was there something else? And space to jump. Okay, but does the game tell me that? Oh, I have to do here. Oh, I love this. I love that you have arrow keys to move, and then once you do move and you get over here, it tells you spacebar to jump. I think this is the only game this jam I've played that made an effort to space out the tutorial so you're not immediately overwhelmed with a million things to do. And I totally get it because it's a game jam, but the fact that you did that alone is such a nice level of polish. I really appreciate that. Why am I in the ground? Oh, is it because... No? Am I a flower now? Oh, I'm underground. Why am I underground? Oh. Oh! Oh, it's reversed that way! Oh, you're clever. I thought I had done something wrong at first initially, I will say, but after, I don't feel like it's too crazy that this is like a discovery moment where you realize it's backwards. At least considering I know the theme of the jam. I don't know that somebody introduced to this without knowing the theme would get that immediately, but that is so cool. I love that. That's awesome. It is also, I wasn't sure. I think it took me a second longer too because I'm doing a weird keyboard thing. I was making sure the fact that I'm holding down my function key wasn't messing with my spacebar, because that was my first thought. Okay, I know this will probably kill me, but what are these spiky things? That's death. Okay. I had to make sure. I don't think I have lives, so it's fine, right? So I just... Ooh, this is such a cool take on the platformer. I love that you go underground. That's why it's grounded. Oh, maybe I should have gone to the right to see if there was stuff over there. Oh, you can go in the dirt. Oh, and she's a plant lady. I'm starting to get it. Do I get squished? I do get squished. I have to test all the ways that I can die, okay? It's really important to me as a gamer that I know the deaths. Oh. Nope. Nope. The timing isn't weird. It's my weird hand placement, so don't worry about that. Oh. Ah, there we go. My brain is not braining. I'll have my good keyboard set up hopefully soon. No. Can't go there. Oh, it doesn't come all the way over. Does it? At some point? Am I supposed to... Maybe I like yeet myself across to this other brick when it's close by? Oh, maybe I have to time it, I think. Oh. I'm not the most gamery of gamers, so this is gonna be a bit tricky. Nope. If this is even what I'm supposed to do. Okay. Trying. Nope. Oh. I don't know if I'm on the right path for this trying to go thing. Oop, I don't see anywhere else to go, really. Unless you can jump. Oh, from a height. Okay. So I can get there from there. See, I like when games like let you experiment like that to figure out, like, the fact that it's not punishing you for death gives me room to be experimental and creative with what I'm attempting to do. And then I think you do the same thing, right? Except you learn how to time things. Okay, I'm fine. We're gaming. Okay. Oh, don't squish me. Oh, okay. Even if you're inside, oh, you're still against it. The collider's there. This is so well done. Like, the gameplay balance is one of the hardest things to get done in such a short amount of time. But this is so cool. Oh, it goes all the way. Okay. Maybe I have to just, like, not be a coward and I have to jump sooner. Okay. Ah! Okay. Timing is hard. I don't dislike the challenge. I'm usually the type of person that has to do this quite a few times, though. Okay. I'm not sure. Oh, okay. If I go all the way to the bottom, it gives me a second to, like, see what's going on. I like the background. Like, it's not really too distracting, but it actually looks really nice. Okay. Oh, I did it. Oh, thank goodness. There's a checkpoint. I think that's a checkpoint. That's Flappy Bird, but for Speggy Dirt Lady. Dirt person. Dirt flower person. I don't know what they are. Grounded person? Okay. Okay, well, I'm gonna wait till I get past here. Alright. And then up. And then down. And then up. Oh, that's tricky. Oh, how do you get past that part? It's like completely blocked though. Right? Oh, I'm sorry, I needed to go up. Okay. brain on. Oh, I let go of my function key. Sorry, it's a little awkward to use my keyboard this way. Okay. Oh, maybe you drop. Yeah, maybe you drop. Maybe this is just because I'm bad, but like, sometimes I like to take a second on levels like this and not have it like auto start. And I've seen levels where it's something like this, but like you still have to like move at the beginning of the level or something before the dirt starts moving, so that like if you need a second to like process what you did wrong, like right here, if it like made me do something before it moved, if you need a second to process what you did wrong, you're not just sitting there like listening to like doop doop every time from like you dying instantly. Oh, it's difficult. This is a beautiful game to have made in that time of short period. Like, it's so stylistic. Like, it's simple, but it's so good. Okay, so I'm gonna hide here for a second and read the stream. What's going on? Oh. Hey, Danny. Oh, wasn't there a block? I hope I didn't, like... I mean, I assume it comes back at some point. Where's the dirt? It was there, right? Like, there's not somewhere else to go, is there? Is it just like a really long wait? Oh, I guess that's my volume key. Okay. I don't know what's going on at this point, but it feels a little broken right here if I'm waiting for it. Unless I'm supposed to do something. Right? I really like the clouds. It's so simple, but it looks so good. I really like the sound effects and the music that goes with it. Ghost Spawn, if you wouldn't mind, is there something I'm supposed to be doing here? I feel like there was a dirt block here a second ago. Like, did I take too long? Do I have to restart? It'd be rather punishing if I have to restart. I feel like the dirt digging sound, like, it goes so well with the music. I feel like Nintendo does a really good job, like, making sure stuff layers really well. I'm not a music person, but I'm getting that same, like, vibe where, like, the effort was put in to make sure that the sound effect matches the music really well. Alright, I need to catch it the first time. Yeah. I feel like that, like, from a platformer perspective, if it's something that you need to do the first time, like, you see how I'm just kind of sitting here, like, oh, maybe it's just a really long moving thing. Something needs to happen at this point where, like, I know I'm just doomed, because otherwise I'm just kind of sitting here forever. Or, like, I'm sitting here even for, like, 30 seconds or a minute and being like, oh, I just need to wait. Like, it's just really going across a long field. Some kind of indicator, like, you've lost would be good. Or, like, even, like, something that kills you for taking too long. Oh, it goes by. Okay. Personally, I think, like, if you miss it or something, there should be something that it just kills you at that point. Otherwise, you're waiting. Oh, you can't go that way. This is so clever, though. Like, the different ways you've made the dirt work. Oh, bounces over there. run, 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 run. Yeah, like even that, like that moment of tension with the platforming is really good. And the thing is too, like you see so many platformers in these game jams, but this one's really solid. I'm not a big platformer fan, but like when they're done well, it's so incredibly fun. And you've really nailed that. Okay. Oh, this is hard, but like in a good way. Yeah, I'm not trying to tell you to like be perfect in a game jam. The only reason I'm pointing anything out is, you know, just because like feedback is helpful for everybody. Like for me, it's helpful when I'm talking about like learning from other people's games, and then hopefully when I'm giving other people constructive criticism. But like, this is insanely impressive for 48 hours. Like, I've been gushing about this game the whole time. Gushing and trying to not die. Oh god. Okay, alright, I did it. I did it. Okay. Oh. The timing. Like, most of it is so well balanced. Oh, I fell. I'm fine. I'm so good at gaming. That was totally on purpose. Thank you for playing. Oh, I love that, like, you walk by. So, is there something you're supposed to do here? Is this just the end? I just want to make sure, because it feels like these blocks are here for some reason. But I wanted to just make sure it's not like a Mario jump for the castle thing. That was fantastic. Like, to have that much of a platformer balanced that well, and to have the art made custom, the music, the sound effects that go well with the music, the whole thing is just really cute. The mechanic is really good. I mean, I only had one moment where I was like, oh, this is a little bit off, you know, and like, it wasn't really, you know, like the biggest deal. Like you said, like during a game jam, you don't catch everything. Like, but that's, you know, the point of playtesting too, to see all the little stuff. No, this is really good. Fantastic job. Yeah, I agree. It's kind of hard anytime you have a game that's not web-based, because a lot of people don't play it, like, because it just takes more time to get through them sometimes. But this is great. This is one of the better submissions in this jam for sure. I think that honestly is the best game I've played from this jam. It's a shame it had to be downloaded, because I think you would have gotten a lot more ratings and reviews otherwise, for sure. But I had the same thing happen when we did a downloadable game. Like, barely anyone played it. I think that's honestly the only thing holding it back. More screenshots might not be a bad idea to get people interested. When I first saw this, like, I'm not even sure I thought it was a platformer just from glancing at that, if that makes sense. And then, like, if you had displayed, like, there's really, like, some variety in the levels and shown, like, a little bit of, like, the spikes and stuff, like, I feel like I would have gotten that it was a platformer, because I was like, oh, is this like an RPG when I first saw this? And it would have shown that, like, hey, I put the effort in to, like, make sure that the levels are, like, really well built out and balanced. Oh, can you put GIFs on itch? I don't think I've seen any. Can you put them in the little itch gallery thing? I haven't seen any of this jam so far. I've played a good bit too, so like, this is my second stream, and I've been streaming for like 4 hours. No wonder my throat kind of hurts. Yeah, like I wouldn't have guessed just from the photos. I get that you're like, saying just a regular platformer, like, I can get where you might have decided to put that, but I feel like that kind of made me not excited to play, and then I was thrown off. Maybe that's intentional in a way, like, when it actually ended up being good, because I was like, you know, just another platformer is already a thought I have when I'm playing Game Jam games, because platformers are so common. But this is such a good twist on it, and it's so well executed and packaged that it's a shame that that's kind of like your opening line, that you're almost kind of pushing down on yourself a bit. Haha, because you're going underground. My husband walked by. He's making a face. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
When you make GIFs, they're all 12 frames per second. I didn't even know you could have GIFs, so that's odd. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, like the presentation of this page, like it didn't make me realize that the game would be so good. I would love to see this like spruced up a bit, and that's something you can, you know, do even post jam, just to get people more excited, because this is so good. Like, if I knew that this would be so good, if I had some indication, I would have been more amped to download it. And I was already kind of excited when I first saw this page and saw this art, and I was like, oh, like that's like a cool looking character. It looks unique. It doesn't look like just like a random grabbed asset from anywhere, because you know, you can often tell when it's just that. I mean, not always, but to have a main character that looks like a main character I haven't seen like in every game asset pack that I've looked at a million times, because I've made so many games, is often a good indicator. But yeah, like, great job. Super fun, like I said, enjoyment, super good. Knocked it out of the park on creativity, like art, sound, music, the take on the theme, really good thought on that. And the creativity behind the way that you did obstacles within the level, because I know how hard that is to balance. Like, great. Okay, presentation would be the one thing I would knock you on, because your page is not selling it, the game. But like, that's such a minor part of what I look at when I'm looking at presentation, because I feel like once you get into the game, where's it at? Like, you immediately get this tutorial, right? That's like making sure you know what's going on. Now, I did try to like push up, and then I was like confused, but I think this was just like a keyboard mistake thing, because I'm doing a weird thing. But like that alone, and just getting through, like, I don't feel like I had to like try to kill myself to figure out the controls. Like, yes, there were moments where I struggled, but they felt like a good challenge that was intentional and built in a way where you had to think about the level, and it was puzzly, and not, oh, we didn't have time to code that, oh, we didn't think about that, which is what you often see with game jams. Like, it was just straight up well done. So I will say out loud, presentation, I would love to see your page selling your game more. But other than that, I think you knocked it out of the park with presentation as well. This is the only game I have rated full 5 stars on everything this jam. Killer job, seriously. I'm gonna write a comment, and I'm gonna post it in a minute, but I'm getting tired. I've been streaming for 4 hours, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it here, and then I'll just write my comment in the piece of no voice time. Thank you for swinging by and dropping your game to try. That was like truly a joy just to play and have fun with. And it was a really good one to end the night on. So thank you so much for doing that. And congrats on finishing the jam to everybody who finished. But like, that is an accomplishment to finish that game in 48 hours for real. So thank you. All right, I'm taking off, everybody. Yeah, you're welcome. Hope it helps. I'm taking off. I don't know that I'll stream again before the jam ends. So that might be the last time that I do this. Whew. All right, I'm heading out. Good night.